From yours.
Paul Carcaterra, Jeff Hafley, thank you very much. 17, your final score on a solemn night and a celebratory night at the same time. For Eric McLean, Paul Carcaterra, I'm Jason Benetti. Good night from Chestnut Hill. Sports Center is next.
Number 6. Cincinnati's number 6. That's it in the college football playoff rankings? Well, here's what they think of that. Easy on that ride because you might end up driving that thing. Cincinnati's unbeaten, knocking on the door, beating on the hood, trying to break through that Power 5 roadblock, smash glass ceilings, and get into the college football playoff. But you can't finish November in a beater. You gotta look like a luxury ride. You know, by this time of year, there are two kinds of teams. Teams like Cincinnati trying to win something, and everybody else trying to spoil something. There are November potholes. They're everywhere today. Wait, Sparty, maybe even the Buckeyes. But our first trip to the Queen City, and these Bearcats believe that in the Queen City, they can be the kings of college football.
Check it out, everybody, keep it locked where you got it. GameDay is in the city, get your weekend started. It's an NFL college party atmosphere, live crowd, bonfire, energy in the air.
We squawk all day to turkey day, college football night. Get out of the best party.
College Game Day, live from Cincinnati, Ohio, is built by the Home Depot, proud sponsor of college football's premier pregame show.
What a scene at the Commons, and they're dropping it from everywhere these days, carrying that Bearcat banner.
Come on. This is like the deal. This is the deal.
How about this? They don't like being ranked number 6, and who can blame them?
No.
This is the Commons area of the University of Cincinnati campus, and I'm here to tell you, this is an uncommon reaction. They're ready to shoot down all of the perceptions about teams outside the Power 5, and they're going to parachute their way right into the college football playoff discussion. Man, oh man, the 94th different city to welcome College Game Day. Glad to have you with us. Reese Davis, Lee Corso with a couple of Ohio natives.
Yes, sir.
Desmond Howard and Kirk Herbstreit. Herbie, oh man, what a turnout here for the Bearcats.
It's amazing, man. You knew they would be fired up for us to come anytime.
But the fact that they're still flying in here above the campus, the fact that they're sitting at 6 in the first rankings, it just is extra special. So perfect timing to be here. We're going to have a fun show today, Des.
I'll tell you what, man, it's so exciting, and we got a dog running around on the set.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting on him to chew one of these cores and shut the whole thing down.
He didn't like that cannon.
My family know how I love dogs. This is going to be a lot of fun. But the excitement of the crowd, listen, I don't know where we're going to land next week, but this is going to be a very tough act to follow, Coach.
No question about it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen to me. Cincinnati is number 2 in the AP poll. And that's the only poll that we care about. Hey, go Bearcats, go! Hey, go Bearcats!
We're going to spend a little time debating the other rankings where the Bearcats aren't number 2, but sitting at number 6. That'll get a reaction. You know what, though? As we look at the games today, the last time LSU went to Tuscaloosa, they were led by current Bengals, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, when they were Bayou Bengals. Different feel today, Herbie.
Yeah, very, very different feel. Talking to LSU, they've not given up on the season. They're going to give everything they have. The key will be starting fast because this Alabama team is starting to hit in high gear offensively. Good to see John Mechie going. Bryce Young is throwing, but also we've seen him scrambling and being creative, something LSU needs to be concerned about today. And also this defense, they want to penetrate. They want to create negative plays. If they're not able to do that, it could be a long day, and then they got to give their quarterback Max Johnson time to throw. He's got young talent out there to throw to. Will he have the time to try to make plays one-on-one?
Big game in the SEC West, Auburn versus Texas A&M. Bo Nix benched early in the season, been playing really well, running the ball. And then you got Tank Bigsby, too. Giving that offense a lot of balance, going up against Isaiah Spiller and Texas A&M. Don't forget, they were spoilers early in the season. They beat Alabama. This is going to be a huge matchup today.
Ohio State, Nebraska at noon. The Buckeye defense won the game against Penn State. Jerron Cage, a scoop and score. That was according to Ryan Day. Scott Frost's team just can't win. They invent ways to lose. They're -7 in the fourth quarter in turnovers. 3 of their 6 losses against top 10 teams. The D is playing well, but the question is, has their spirit been broken, or do they have a stunner in them today?
Cincinnati, not big fans of Ohio State. That just goes without saying. Oregon and Washington, rivalry game. Ducks playing really well. Anthony Brown has really settled in the last couple weeks, making great throws. This Washington team is dangerous, guys. 3 of their 4 losses by a touchdown or less. You get them in Seattle in a rivalry game with a defense that is capable. Tricky. Is it a tricky game for Oregon today?
Hey, Michigan State and Purdue, is this the recipe for a trap game? Number 3 in the nation, check that box. Kenneth Walker III, Heisman front runner, check that box. Huge win against your rival, the Michigan Wolverines. You check that box. But your secondary was kind of exposed, and now you're going to go up against this Purdue team that loves to throw the ball. David Bell is one of the best receivers in the country.
Yeah, remember, Wake Forest is still undefeated. They play North Carolina. Coach likes to say pack a sandwich kind of game. This is a 4 hours written all over it. It's going to be a lot of points. Sam Hartman has a lot of different receivers that he's spreading the wealth down to, something that's given North Carolina trouble. I think the only way the Heels compete today, Sam Howell, Josh Downs, they've got to make plays downfield, try to keep up with Hartman. Could be a lot of points in this one today.
Cincinnati plays Tulsa. And this is all about the Bearcats, not the importance. Jerome Ford, 14 rushing touchdowns. Desmond Ritter gives them balance. 14 interceptions by that defense led by Sauce Gardner. You know, Sauce Gardner has never allowed a touchdown pass in his career. And you think they're going to compare scores? Do you remember when Tulsa played Ohio State and there were moments left in the game, 4 minutes left, and Tulsa was within a touchdown? Oh, they're going to compare scores all right, just like they did with Tulane against Oklahoma last week. Bearcats ready to make a point. We go all access with UC. Here's a little peek.
We're doing a little media day. It's a lot of attention, this program, this week, so.
What was your reaction to the initial college football playoff rankings?
Didn't have much of a reaction, didn't wait to see it, didn't watch.
You can't really pay attention to any of that stuff. You know, it's always work to be done.
In some ways, I say, okay, great. It gives us an opportunity to, you know, kind of put the chip back on the shoulder, and it's great.
Much more of that coming up. Some other things today to keep an eye on. An SEC West showdown. Texas A&M and Auburn. Don't forget, Auburn controls its fate in the SEC West. They don't need any help. Win their games, they go to the championship game. Air Force and Army Air Force can secure the Commander-in-Chief's trophy with a victory. And the 112th edition of the Dakota Marker rivalry, South Dakota State against North Dakota State, the alma mater of Gary Barta, the College Football Playoff Selection Committee chair. Remember we showed you our jumpers? Where will Cincinnati land in the rankings? Well, the jumpers landed right in the middle of historic Nippert Stadium, the oldest stadiums in the country, third oldest, still active in college football, a great historic place to play. Now look, you look at all of these rankings right now and you think about the upsets that we've had this year, the style points start to come into play, particularly if you're in Cincinnati's case today it starts, but others need to play well also and make a point.
100% RD. And you look at the rankings, right? You're a team, you're outside the top 4. You're looking at either style points or you're looking at the rest of your schedule to see if you're playing ranked teams that can help you move up in the ranking. When you're Cincinnati, you don't have any other ranked teams on your schedule. So now you have to go out there and beat down teams because style points mean everything. I know they struggled earlier against Navy and Tulane, but now, toast of the day, they have to go out there and handle their business moving forward if you're going to try to move from 6 to the top 4.
And, you know, they did that after the Notre Dame game. They played Temple, did what you're supposed to do. They played UCF, they did what you're supposed to do. So we'll see how they do in November when it really, all eyes are going to be on them. A couple things I'm watching today. Reese talked about Auburn controlling their own destiny. Don't forget, if Auburn were to beat A&M, or A&M were to beat Auburn could beat Alabama. A&M could still actually get to Atlanta. So both these teams are hoping that they have a shot to get to the SEC championship. And Dez is all over it there. This feels like a Michigan State let-up. Take the foot off the gas after a big win last week. The eyes of college football all on East Lansing. It's not human nature to let up just a little bit against Purdue. I think Mel Tucker is the X factor there. I don't think he'll let them let up today.
I want to talk about Texas.
Texas.
Okay. Texas had a double-digit lead at halftime against Oklahoma State, and Baylor, and they lost the game.
Yeah.
Now, I got a suggestion for them.
I want to hear that.
Try something new in halftime.
Yeah.
Leave your team on the field. Don't go in at halftime.
Oh.
Like,
You've done that.
Okay.
Hey, you left your team one time at halftime.
Exactly. What do they got to lose? Nothing. Try it. What the hell?
He said, he came out, he said, he went into the locker room, left, and the referee said, he's sitting on the bench by himself drinking water.
Yeah.
The referee's like, what are you doing? He's like,
I call it. He said, call the commissioner, tell him we forfeit.
It's sort of been the opposite for Texas. They were ready to keep going, and then they let go of the rope at the end. We're going to talk a lot more about Texas football coming up a little bit later in the show. The number 1 team in the country, though, is starting to hit a little bit of trouble, most of it off the field. Georgia's starting linebacker Adam Anderson is suspended indefinitely after being accused of raping a woman last week. A 21-year-old woman reported this incident hours after it allegedly happened. An investigation is underway. Kirby Smart has said all protocols will be followed. Anderson, through his attorney, has vehemently denied this charge. Mark Schlabach will join us. He's the one who broke the story to talk about the latest and what it means for the Georgia Bulldogs. Meanwhile, Georgia, without Adam Anderson and without a starting left tackle who was injured this week, Jamari Sawyer, they will take on Missouri. Missouri's going to be without its quarterback, Connor Bazelak. Chris Lowe has confirmed that for us. That comes up immediately following College Game Day. And hotty toddy gosh almighty, who the heck is he? Well, he used to be the Ole Miss coach. Hugh Freeze leads Liberty into Vaught Hemingway in a battle of quarterbacks between Malik Willis and Matt Corral. And Notre Dame, the biggest Irish fans in the world, are here in Cincinnati. They've beaten the Irish in that stadium. Notre Dame and Navy today. The more they win, the better the Bearcats look. Coming up inside College Game Day, we'll look back at some of the most memorable moments in the history of the LSU-Alabama rivalry. Will we get a classic today or just a little bit of jawing? Kenneth Walker, from backup at Wake Forest to a Heisman candidate at Michigan State. Serious attention to the transfer portal made it happen.
We have people dedicated to monitoring the portal. He would press refresh, every 30 minutes or so.
Cincinnati's ready to press refresh on these college football playoff rankings. We're going to lay out the roadmap. What do the Bearcats have to do? What has to happen around them as they make their playoff case. Make the playoff case for the Bearcats. Hey, where's that dog? I want to take it home. Where's the dog?
Cincinnati is number 2 to people.
Hey, show Marissa over there, too. She likes to be on TV.
Introducing Wendy's new hot and crispy fries. Preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. Try them today, only at Wendy's.
What do we want for dinner?
Burgers! I want a sugar cookie. I want a bucket of chicken. I want...
It's the easiest because it's the cheesiest. Kraft for the win-win.
What if I was an overly enthusiastic personal trainer? Could I still get the Patrick price?
Yep. State Farm has rates that fit any budget.
Sweet.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
The best things America makes are the things America makes out here. The history she writes in her clear blue skies, the legends she births on hometown fields, and the future she promises. When we made Grand Wagoneer, proudly assembled in America, we knew no object would ever rank with the best things in this country. But we believed we could make something worthy of their spirit.
To make progress, we must keep taking steps forward. We believe the future of energy is lower carbon, and to get there, the world needs to reduce global emissions. At Chevron, we're taking action, tying our executives' pay to lowering the carbon emissions intensity of our operations. It's tempting to see how far we've come, but it's only human to know how far we have to go.
That was quick.
And rewarding. I earn 3% cash back at drugstores with Chase Freedom Unlimited. That means I earn on my bug spray and my sunscreen. You ready to go fishing?
I got the bait.
I also earn 5% on travel purchased through Chase on this rental car. That lake is calling my name.
Don't you get seasick?
We'll find out. Come on. And I earn 3% on dining, including takeout.
So much for catching our dinner.
Some people are hunters, some are gatherers. I'm a diner. Earn big time with Chase Freedom Unlimited with no annual fee. How do you cash back? Chase, make more of what's yours.
Get a load of the DQ Loaded A1 Steakhouse Burger, stacked with thick-cut bacon, crunchy onion rings, and 2 premium steak sauces. A1 Thick and Hearty Steak Sauce and a creamy peppercorn sauce. This is one burger that needs 2 hands. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Scene 103, take 1.
Taking my vaccine and staying safe. That's what you want me to believe. Of course. They're saying that the vaccine is 99% effective, right? Where are you going with this? What about the one dude?
I want you to get the vaccine because I care. I want you to be safe. If you was to die, man, that would literally kill me, man.
If it made you feel that way, bro, I'll probably do.
I love you, man. I love you too.
First Saturday in November with this great rivalry.
The homies like we run the city. Looking fresh and feeling like a millie. Moving silence, you can never hear me. If you got a problem when you see me,
we're all finding out who Alabama is. It is the SEC under the lights.
Run it.
LSU, Alabama, tonight at 7 on ESPN. Welcome home.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. And in part by Peloton. Get the original bike, still at the best price ever.
Band is out. This great university. The enrollment here is about 46,000 and change. I'm not so sure that all of them aren't here, which I'm delighted by. What a wonderful crowd. Hospitality's been unbelievable all week. We're going to talk a lot about Cincinnati and its playoff case. Some Friday night lights in the ACC, Virginia Tech and Boston College, the annual Red Bandana game in honor of 9/11 victim Wells Crowther, the BC alum lacrosse player, is a hero The Twin Towers tragedy in 9/11. Bill Jerkovic was back for Boston College. Good to see him.
Good to see the big fella back. He's been out all year and, kind of working off the rust. Just a kind of a lethargic game. Virginia Tech, man, they are not good. Issues right now with that program.
That's like 4
direction it's
games.
headed.
Offense for Boston College.
Justin Fuente, they're 4-5. They could be in trouble. There could be changes going on there. Wake Forest and North Carolina. This is not an ACC game. They weren't on the conference schedule, so they arranged to play each other. So Wake Forest, they're just as upset about the rankings as Cincinnati. You want to meet these guys? What about Sam Hartman, the veteran quarterback? He leads the ACC in total QBR. He's second in the nation in this slow mesh offense, and he's got a couple of big-time receivers in A.T. Perry and Jaquari Roberson, each over 700 yards and 6 touchdowns. These guys are plus 10 in turnover margin. Travion Red, the guy who forces a bunch of them, is Deke's wire.
Here we go. Come on, dude. You got roots in Western New York, right? You got to make that. No, he likes the fair catch. No, he likes the fair catch. Go. MDM, see it, see it, see it. Good. Another 3-minute break, sponsored by Coach George. That's it, Cropper. Nice job.
All right, David Pollack has joined us up here as we see the ACC banner flying. It is Wake Forest who is leading the way. They're in the top 10. They play at noon Eastern time on ABC. And Pollack, top 10 teams on the road against unranked opponents as an underdog. Happened again. This is the 4th time this year. 2 of the previous 3 lost. Wake in trouble today.
Well, they're in trouble every week they play because their defense is not near as good as their offense.
Yep.
Go back to the Army game a couple weeks ago, about 56. They can score, and this is the most unique offense in all of college football. Like, literally, they do some of the craziest things with the mesh point, and I've never seen a quarterback consistently throw the ball like 1 yard from the line of scrimmage, literally 1 yard, and they do some cool things. And the only college football team in the country with 2 receivers over 700 yards. Yeah. So Wake Forest, this is pack a sandwich, right? This is your pack a sandwich.
Yeah. It's going to be a classic shootout. That's what it's going to come down to. I'm still surprised that Wake is an underdog on the road to UNC, but it's because of their defense. But Wake, they love this. I spoke to people today as part of the program. They say that people see the name Wake and they underestimate us issues defensively, but offensively, they're one of the best in the country. Sam Hartman is playing at a very high level. They feel as though they can win a shootout against UNC. It's going to be a great game. What's the over-under on this?
78, 79, something like that.
So what do? We go over?
Last year went over 100, and this game was over 100 last year.
That's an easy one there.
I think Cincinnati's a more complete team, but I just find it interesting the people that are out there that say they're undefeated. Like, how can they be behind a one-loss team? Well, I don't hear that about Wake. How come no one ever talks about they're in a Power 5? And I know their defense is giving up points, but it's just if your logic is they're undefeated, you got to use that same logic when you talk about UTSA. You got to use that same logic when you talk about Wake Forest because there's more to Cincinnati. Relax. There's more to Cincinnati. There's more to Cincinnati than they're undefeated. They're a good football team.
100%,
they have good defense. They have good offense. It's not they're undefeated.
Right.
It's that they stood in the middle of the ring with Georgia last year in a Sugar Bowl. Georgia, the team that's above everybody else, they stood right there and outplayed them for 4 quarters and lost on the last second field goal. That's a different deal with Cincinnati. So don't give me this BS that they're undefeated. They've got to be. To give that same logic to Wake. No one's in an uproar for Wake Forest.
Right.
I don't hear anybody. Barry, anybody yelling for Wake Forest?
Not that I'm aware of.
So don't give me the undefeated crap about these rankings.
Well, if we get a Wake Forest next week, they might be yelling.
Well, I'm going to tell one thing I do think you should give some credence this year when everybody's finding ways to lose to being undefeated a little bit. Yeah. But it can't be everything.
No.
It can't be everything.
UTSA is undefeated.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, let's look at some other ACC games today to keep an eye on. Includes Wake Forest, Carolina at noon. Pitt and Duke, Georgia Tech and Miami, North Carolina and Florida State. Depth could really be tested there for Florida State. It's always good to have a veteran experienced backup quarterback like Mackenzie Milton in that game that'll be on the ACC network. Then Clemson and Louisville wrap it up. Now, Pittsburgh had a chance in there maybe to fight their way into this CFP if it got wild, and then they lost last week. Pittsburgh's playing hapless Duke. They're still leading the Coastal, though.
That's the most important thing. I mean, perspective.
Yeah.
You know, you're disappointed. They lost last week to Miami, a game that they were favored. They're 25th in the nation. They're 6-2. They got a game lead in their division in the Coastal. They got a real good chance to get to Charlotte. I mean, if you would have told Pat Narduzzi before the season started, you guys got a chance to finish 10-2, go to Charlotte, have a chance to win a championship.
Sign me up.
All
In a
day.
heartbeat.
So shake that loss. Finish strong, and Pitt can still have a magical year.
I tell you what, how about Miami? You know, we looked at Miami.
Yeah.
At one point, about 4 weeks ago, when they lost against Virginia, they lost against North Carolina, losing both games by only 3 points.
Played hard.
That's the key. Don't look at the final score. Look at the actual game. People wanted to get Manny out of there, and what did they do? They bounced back. They beat NC State. They beat Pitt. Because if you watch the tape, this is a team that always competed. They played 4 quarters of football, and they played hard and gave tremendous effort. People wanted them, hey, get Manny out of there. He can't handle the job. Now look at Miami. So, Bear, I see they're on your board now against Georgia Tech. What do you have for the Canes today?
Well, I think they need to be careful today. I think some people like history, some people like trends and things like that. Miami won the last 2 weeks as an underdog of greater than a field goal. You go back, and now they're a double-digit favorite. You go back the last 10 years, there have been 13 times that a team won outright as an underdog of greater than a field goal, then was a double-digit favorite. Those teams were 3-10 against the number, lost 4 times outright. This is the team, Georgia Tech, that beat them last year as an 18.5 point dog. Miami will win today, and I love the way they played hard.
Yeah, they have.
They play hard, man.
I'm not laying double digits with the Canes here today.
Okay.
So they'll win, but they won't cover.
Yeah.
They'll win, but not cover. Yes.
Real quick for you.
Yes.
What'd you do? What's going on here? What'd you do?
I don't know.
What happened?
Second week in a row, I don't know.
I'm about to put my sunglasses on, too.
Look at that.
I'm looking at y'all.
28 quality.
All I did on Tuesday night was lay out the case why they still have a great chance to be in the playoff, and somehow they don't. I don't know.
Okay.
Hey, we got a smart crowd behind us. This is a smart group.
I'm not very still listening.
Did they smell committee? Spell committee wrong? Maybe. I don't know. North Carolina State and Florida State. North Carolina State's been one of those kind of up and down teams too. And Florida State seems to be improved.
I think you call it NC Stating, don't you? What did you
Wolf
call
packing.
it? Wolf packing. So they've definitely been up and down. And Florida State, I tell you what, same way with Miami. We talk about them.
Yeah.
I like what I've seen from Florida State too. I mean, they got some speed offensively. I think NC State will struggle with Florida State's offense if they're healthy.
For personal reasons, I don't like what I saw from Florida State.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah,
that was a painful Superdog loss.
Hey,
I think they should cancel their season. They should be done. Clemson and Louisville Cardinals have 1 win in the last month. They lost another starter, and Keetraw Clark, a cornerback. Quick pick here. Clemson, Louisville. On the road for Clemson.
Yeah, on the road for Clemson, but I think their defense travels, so I think Clemson will win a close one against Louisville.
I like Clemson too.
Yeah, Clemson. I think they may have found a little bit of mojo. I know it's not the year that they expected to have, but just the way they won.
Right.
And not just
I'm
the
just
last.
saying, bro,
I'm just saying they had this energy there at the end of the game. So we'll see if that carries over.
I also think Shipley being healthy changes that.
Oh,
team.
yeah.
Like watch
For
him.
sure.
I think this offense will be better.
Yeah.
And they'll cover. They'll cover
Bear,
that 4 points.
Does the athletic trivia question have anything to do with guys who wear sunglasses?
No, it does not. Again, perfect. Look right at the set. Sun. Perfect spot.
You're glowing. You look great.
All right, thank you. And they're going to like this question too, I think.
All right, what do you got?
Today's athletic trivia question. Last 5 years, 17 of the 20 teams that reached the college football playoff were ranked in the initial top 5. Can you name the 3 teams that were not in the initial top 5 over the last 5 years that wanted to make in the playoff?
It's the last 5 years.
Last 5
but it still could be right. It still might be right.
Correct. It was the Penn State year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
There's one.
Okay. Right.
All right.
Have to think about that.
Yeah, we'll noodle on that. We'll noodle on it like Cincinnati chili.
Yeah.
So ahead on College Game Day, all access with the Bearcats. Well, there's a guy in the Queen City wearing King's robe. Now they get ready for Tulsa and everything in between. This is a rivalry. You might not realize just how much Oregon and Washington despise every greedy breath the other one sucks into their lungs.
The schools that we go against are way more, have academic prowess like the University of Washington. So I think that's made up a lot and pumped up in your world.
Brett Favre, legendary quarterback. Jerry Rice, legendary wide receiver. You ready for your weekly meeting?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's do this. Let's stack the deck.
When legends play, they wear Copperfit Advanced Back Pro. Copperfit's best-selling compression back support just got better with new double-band adjustable supports for customizable compression when you need it most.
Since I put this on, I feel so much better. The core is the most important thing. To know that I'm stabilized here. Whatever I'm doing, I can give it 100%.
4 built-in stabilizing supports designed to improve posture and help reduce lower back stress and strain.
You have back pain, and it's affecting your everyday life. You do something.
If you can find something to help you get back out and be active like Copperfit, go for it.
Absolutely.
Do not give up.
A high-performance compression fabric infused with the powerful properties of copper, 360-degree flexible mobility, and lightweight, durable construction.
Nothing more painful than having back pains. If you're aching, if you feel like you can't work out anymore, you can. And that's with Copperfit.
Yeah. It's for all of us who still want to be active, still want to compete.
Way to go. That's what I'm talking about. Man, this really does feel good. It feels to me like the fountain of youth.
Copperfit's best-selling back support just got bigger, badder, and better. Or call 1-800-601-4542. Or on the web at advancedbackpro.com. Get yours now for only $19.99.
This does feel good.
That's what I've been saying.
You think it was fair?
It was fun.
Play for the love of the game.
Copperfit, live limitless.
Are you ready for the season to get serious on Monday night?
I love it. Come on, baby.
Are Big Ben and the Steelers ready to make one last playoff run?
Rock and roll now. Let's go.
Are Fields and the Bears ready to get back in the hunt? The Steel City is ready. The Second City is ready.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
It's epic here. It's epic here. It's epic out here, too. Introducing the Epson Epic Vision Mini Projector. So epic, so mini.
The top-rated Epson Epic Vision Mini is the new immersive way to enjoy your favorite content, like streaming movies, TV shows, sports, workout classes, and even gaming, wherever you'd like. The picture is so big, up to 150 inches. That's 4 times bigger than a 75-inch flat panel. Go online or call to get over $200 in added value. Stream your favorite shows from services like Hulu, HBO Max, and YouTube right out of the box. Its 3-chip 3 LCD laser technology produces outstanding color and brightness. Order an Epic Vision Mini and get this exclusive TV offer. Free travel case, free 3-year limited warranty, free shipping, and a money-back guarantee. That's over $200 in added value.
It's epic. It's mini. It's the Epson Epic Vision Mini.
The Epson Epic Vision Mini. Visit buyepicvision.com or call today.
Bigger and better, baby.
Dad, your junior season, you ran for 502 yards. What's it like to be fast?
It comes in handy.
Manning has decided to carry the football himself. And you know what that means. Excitement. How about that Archie who?
Well, what's wrong with Peyton and I? Why didn't we get that speed?
I do not know. Y'all could not run out of sight in a month.
You know, we tried to follow in your footsteps. We just did it more at a leisurely pace.
Eli's Places, streaming exclusively on ESPN+. Week 9, Monday Night Football. Former Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields against former Miami. They love Miami here. Miami quarterback Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. 8 o'clock Eastern. Hey, look, there's Redlegs.
Mr. Redlegs is here. All right.
Monday Night Football, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Monday Night Countdown starts at 6 Eastern. Chef Nick Allison is with Jeff Ruby Culinary Entertainment. Let me tell you, that steakhouse is one of the greatest in America. You get a chance to go there, you ought to do yourself a favor. Home Depot Game Day Tailgate, Wagyu ribeyes, grilled lobsters, and Bearcat cake. That's
got the Bearcat cake from the man.
That cake makes
telling
it
you,
up here on the
a lot of great steakhouses in the country. There's none better than Jeff.
None better.
The best.
Seasoning.
Seasoning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You got lobster on
Lobster?
the grill? Come on now.
Yeah.
And last night, Utah and Stanford. This thing was over in a heartbeat. Watch Oklahoma transfer T.J. Pledger go end-to-end, 96.
This just in. You don't want anything to do with Kyle Whittingham in Utah right now. You do not want to play the Utes. They have found it. Quarterback is giving them balance. They're playing physical like they always do. They're confident. Oregon in a couple weeks goes to Salt Lake.
On a Friday night.
Hey, man, Oregon lost to Stanford. That's going to be a bad loss on that resume.
3-6, Stanford.
Yeah. There's Old Crimson, 268 consecutive game day appearances. See if they lost to Stanford.
I got to update the sign.
Update that sign, man.
Update that sign, boys. They're 3-6.
Marker. And they know everything here, and Oregon might have a test against a rival today. Washington dislikes Oregon too. You think back 1948, it was Washington's vote that broke a conference tie and kept Oregon from going to the Rose Bowl. That sowed the seeds of discontent and contempt for one another. There have been supposed death threats against mascots. Disgusting, and I mean disgusting. Projectiles allegedly thrown at players. For the last 50 meetings, though, split 25 apiece. The average margin of victory is a mere 2 points. But Oregon has certainly had the upper hand recently in terms of perception and on the field. And when all else fails when you're in that situation, you can always point at the other side and say, well, football's way easier for you because you're a high acceptance rate degree mill. And we're like better at books.
It is Oregon. It is Washington. This is the one that's personal.
The schools that we go against have academic prowess, like the University of Washington.
I think the intensity of rivalry games take care of themselves.
Intercepted! Intercepted! The next have the ball! Kenny Wheaton is going to score!
Who wants it more? Them or us? Knowing that there's real hate in people's hearts for this game and for us, you kind of feel it. That's kind of like why we play, for the rivalries, for the big games.
These two teams definitely hate each other, and it's going to be a rivalry for a long time.
Browning walks into the end zone.
You can see the taunting there at the end.
C.J. Verdell wins the game for Oregon.
Go dog. What I felt last time after they were here is something I'm not trying to let repeat.
This game coming up is going to be a title fight. It's going to go to the distance, and we're going to have to fight to the end.
I don't know if it would have helped or not. There's so many great stories about how these two don't like each other. There was one year that Oregon kept playing on its Jumbotron when Rick Neuheisel was the coach at Washington. They kept showing Neuheisel in that clip from the airplane movie of the woman upchucking. Neuheisel, upchuck, Neuheisel. They apologize later. They don't like each other. That was clear this week. The Husky offense has been painful, but the defense has been pretty good.
They have. The one area that they've been really good is the pass. And I think the reason they're really good, when you look at them statistically, is because a lot of people are trying to just run the football on them. And I think if you're Oregon and Joe Moorhead, the play caller, that's exactly what they'll try to do. Right now, Travis Dye has taken the baton from C.J. Verdell. He's doing a heck of a job of running the football. They're getting consistent play now from Anthony Brown. So I think it's Oregon's running game. You go into a physical rivalry game on the road, you rely on defense, running the football, and Anthony Brown, man, he's been playing great these last 2 weeks.
The Oregon offense is humming, boy, behind Anthony Brown. Last week against Colorado, they had 550 yards total offense. And now they've run 3 in a row. And listen, they have to go to Washington. Not to worry. The Ducks have won 6 of the last 7 in Seattle. Go Ducks, go.
Wow,
go Ducks.
That's a strong lead.
Go Ducks.
Yeah, Oregon, huh? I tell you what, both teams have really good. They got a great sign game.
They do.
Both teams great defense, but if Washington's going to win this game, they've got to produce some turnovers. And their 4 wins, they produced 7 interceptions and 4 wins. And their 4 losses, only 1 turnover. So they're going to have to produce some turnovers, make sure they give their offense a short field to work with. I think Oregon's defense, though, in this game might be the one I lean on more. I'm going to have to go with the Ducks, Coach. I think we're going Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, go Ducks, go Ducks.
As intense as that game will be, you wonder if USC and Arizona State is just going to be flat. Sun Devils looked like they'd checked out in a terrible loss against Washington State last week. SC has lost Drake London. Give me a quick pick. It's on ESPN tonight at 10:30.
I think Herm's team bounced back. I'm going with the Sun Devils. I'm going Arizona State over USC.
Old USC has won 17 of the last 21 against Arizona State. This is a new SC. Arizona State.
Wow, you got.
I don't even know if anybody wants to win this game. I mean, Arizona State was 5-1, and we were all talking about it, bragging on what they're doing. And since then, they had 2 straight losses. You know, they just don't seem to have a lot of fire, not playing with a lot of juice. I think they win this game by default. You take Drake London out of ST's arsenal, I'll pick Arizona State. But I don't feel good about doing it.
Yeah, like that Penn State, Illinois game.
Yeah,
former USC coach Clay Helton already has a job.
Yeah,
head coach at Georgia Southern immediately.
Yeah.
So what's SC going to do to replace him permanently? You got a name?
I've said from day one that I think Brian Kelly would be a great fit. You know, the head coach at Notre Dame. That was just my initial thought.
Can you imagine?
Imagine? And if Brian Kelly leaves Notre Dame,
no.
I wonder if they might look in this neighborhood, in the Clifton neighborhood, for a replacement.
if Brian Kelly leaves Notre Dame,
You're not going to leave your church.
I'm just saying if he. Wonder who would be up for the Notre Dame.
I'd still go make Matt Rule say no, and same thing for LSU. Both of them. Barry, got athletic trivia?
Any guesses?
Yeah, I got the Ohio State that David said. I'm going to say Washington, and I'm going to say Oklahoma.
Well, you got 2 out of the 3. We answered today's athletic trivia question. Which 3 teams were not in the initial top 5 over the last 5 years to make the playoff? The answers is Ohio State in 2016, the year that they lost to Penn State, didn't play the Big Ten championship game, and Oklahoma twice. 18 and 19. Oklahoma, by the way, not in the top 5 this year as well. So could slide in there.
And they got a chance maybe for a 3-peat. They could get back in there again.
What was Washington?
Washington was in the top 5.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Seems like ages ago.
Nice.
It does.
How about that?
And they still shouldn't have been in the playoff.
Chris Pete
Penn State should have been in that year.
Can you just think how quickly everything turns? We're going to talk LSU and Alabama later, and how quickly that's turned in 2 years. It's only been 5 years since Washington has been in the playoffs.
I know.
Now they're saying, don't
like
worry.
forever ago.
Now Washington's saying, don't worry about us. We recruit against Yale and Harvard and Princeton. Cincinnati's making its playoff case. We'll hear from some who believe they should be in.
The perfect term for the snub is being friend-zoned by the college football playoff. They won't invite us to the party because they know that we are going to steal their girls.
Just because the seasoning and flow's already active. Only 4 years.
Every home should be a haven. IKEA.
The best thing to order is when you are sitting at soccer practice, order it through your phone while you're sitting there, and then you go and pick it up.
But you're much more of a planner than me.
I am.
And that's what I love about you.
Yes.
You know, I'm not that prepared. It's more seat in my pants.
Attention CPAP users. Germs and bacteria can grow inside your reservoir, tubing, and mask. And cleaning them can be an expensive, difficult task. When you need to breathe easy, sleep great, and stay healthy, what you need is CleanZone, the affordable, portable CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. Just press, and CleanZone automatically cleans, sanitizes, and eliminates 99% of germs and bacteria from every surface of your CPAP reservoir, tube, and mask in minutes. No water, no added chemicals, no worries. You'll breathe in healthy, clean air and sleep peacefully.
I used to bug him to clean the CPAP machine, and I worried about how dirty it was.
But with the CleanZone, I just attach it to the tube, and within minutes, it's clean.
We love the price, too.
The secret is activated oxygen that is created by CleanZone's internal O3 generator. Plus, it's lightweight, compact, and portable.
I looked at other CPAP cleaners, and when I compared quality and price, CleanZone was my clear choice.
I can sleep with the peace of mind knowing that I'm breathing clean.
CleanZone works with virtually all make and model CPAP machines. It's powered by a long-lasting rechargeable battery and is maintenance-free. Just press, and CleanZone does the rest. You've seen other CPAP cleaners sell for hundreds of dollars, but during this special offer, you can get your CleanZone CPAP cleaner for just $199.99. Plus, we'll give you an instant $100 rebate. That's just $99.99. CleanZone comes with our full 60-day money-back guarantee. But to make this the cleanest offer on TV, we'll give you the CleanZone mask sanitizing bag absolutely free. You get the CleanZone CPAP cleaner for $100 off and the mask sanitizing bag absolutely free. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-364-0450 or go online to cleanzonenow.com.
First Saturday in November with this great rivalry.
It is the SEC under the lights.
LSU, Alabama, tonight at 7 on ESPN.
Waking up at 5:30 in the morning, taking that bus early to the school to come practice, it was a grind. My coach basically just told me that you wanted to be something special in basketball, you had to just stick to it. It doesn't happen without hard work. It doesn't happen without determination. By any means necessary, go attack your dreams.
I'm here for a cat. Designed specifically for pet parents. The Bissell Crosswave X7 Cordless Pet Pro Multi-Surface Cleaner vacuums and washes at the same time. It freshens area rugs and tackles tough, stuck-on messes, powerfully cleaning sealed hard floors. No surprise, it's our best crosswave for homes with pets. And other mess makers too. Whatever stage of pet parenthood you're in, Bissell helps you live in the moment, not the mess.
College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, is brought to you by Coors Light, made to chill.
Historic Nippert Stadium, named for Jimmy Nippert, died after a spike wound in the 1923 Miami game, and his grandfather, James Gamble of Procter & Gamble here in Cincinnati. They funded the original building of the stadium, $86 million in it 5 or 6 years ago to renovate it. This is the third oldest stadium in use in college football.
Man, I've been going to high school football games in that stadium with big heavyweight battles in there for years. To see what they've done to this facility, it's incredible. Hey, appreciate that.
Last night.
You guys took in a little St. X last night. St. X and Elder.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It got out of hand early.
It did.
It did. Business.
It did. The Bombers put it on them.
But it was a great atmosphere.
You down a punt on the 1 yard line, and then the guy goes 99.
That's when you guys packed up. That's when you guys were like, well,
time to get ready to go. Get ready for the show.
Leah and Jim Olmstead from Batavia, Ohio. It's doing season. We're happy to have them with us on the Home Depot Tailgate as the Home Depot Tailgate Pros of the Week. P-Tut Fan Cam showing us the best and most passionate fans here in Cincinnati. Woo! Man, we have great fans every week, but this turnout.
Look at that scene.
Spectacular. You got to guess how many people you think are here.
My gosh. I don't know, 10,000?
10,000? 15,000?
Yeah, 10 or 15,000.
I mean, stretch that way, too. I mean,
it just keeps going. It's a big day for this program, for this city. They are fired up. You lived here, Pollard. You know they love football in this city.
They've had a lot of good teams over the years.
Yeah.
This is special though.
You know, I should have introduced David as former Bengals first-round draft pick right here. Welcome home to you too, David Pollard.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of memories here for sure. Met some old friends. Big 12 standings right here. Oklahoma's still leading the way, though they, like Cincinnati, displeased with their standing in college football playoff rankings. But Oklahoma State and Baylor are still right here in the mix. Oklahoma State going to West Virginia. This is a place where the Cowpokes have had some success. They've won 6 straight against the Mountaineers, and as they travel into Morgantown yesterday, they go in knowing last 3 times they've made that trek to the area of the Yan Dog that they've come back with victories 3 straight times.
Milan Puskar Stadium in Morgantown, West Virginia. It is a hostile environment. They can beat anybody. And last week they showed that against Iowa State. Quarterback plays have been good. Garrett Dagey can throw the football around. You know, this defense is hit or miss. They can either get penetration, get in the backfield, or they give up big plays. This is the makings of a really good game.
Well,
low scoring.
Time to give America what she really wants. Texas versus Iowa State. That's right. Texas on a 3-game losing streak. That man right there, Bijan Robinson. But he only had less than 100 yards again
that effort
last week. And they were Iowa State. They lost to West Virginia. But they're going to be hungry to try to beat the Longhorns. Maybe 4 L's in a row. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Baylor and TCU. I want you to watch this run by Abram Smith. He is hunting the end zone. This epitomizes reliable, violent offense. And the Baylor defense has been good as well. Jalen Petrie forces turnovers at a high rate. This Baylor team is balanced. TCU's run D's been terrible, even with Gary Patterson at the helm, which he will not be. TCU's first game without Patterson on the sideline as a head coach in 21 years. First time he hasn't been there even as an assistant since 1997. This is what Patterson did before TCU decided to part ways with him this week. 181 wins, 11 10-win seasons. He won every conference they went to. You should think of Gary Patterson as more than just a guy who built TCU into a winner. His significance in the history of the modern era of this sport is almost unmatched. Maybe Bill Snyder at Kansas State. TCU wasn't anything before he was there, and now they've moved up in conference rankings. They've got a beautiful stadium. They're respected. It's sort of a blueprint for all of the programs that were outside the Power Five trying to break through.
No, he really did. I tell you what, and since I've been doing this job, I mean, he's been one of the coaches that I've looked up to, just respected because of what he's been able to do with that program. I mean, he changed the culture. He made them a brand again. You know what it takes to make a school, especially a program like that, a big brand. He was able to make them a big player on the national stage, too. So I think that he did so much for that program, man. Patterson has a statue, too, so it tells you how much they think of him. We're going to miss Coach Patterson.
Oh, absolutely, and you guys pretty much hit it all. I mean, he was one of the founding fathers of what UC's going through. When you're off the radar, group of 5 team, he and Chris Peterson at Boise State. So he really understands and appreciates being the underdog, and he built them all the way up and getting into the Big 12, new stadium, everything he's done. He'll be missed. The game today, some of these games in the Big 12, I think Baylor is showing that they're more than just defense and maybe a gimmicky offense. They're the opposite of that. I mean, this team right now, you just showed the highlight there of Abram Smith. This guy played linebacker last year.
Runs like a linebacker.
He runs like a linebacker.
Yep.
They have balance. They play great defense. I think TCU's emotions could keep it close, but I like Baylor to win that game just with that running game.
Consistent. I sort of trust Baylor now. Early in the season, we were all like, what do we know?
Well, we needed to see it.
Yeah, we need to see it consistently. But I tell you what, Oklahoma State is another team. They're not in control of their own destiny, but they might be. I mean, I'm not going to say they do completely, but they still have opportunities. They've already beat Baylor. They still have an opportunity with Oklahoma down the road. And again, the offense, we don't always know what we're going to get from them, but they have been more consistent of late. Oklahoma State, you better watch out, man.
Well, they actually do because they lost to Iowa State. Yeah. And, so they're ahead of them.
I'm talking about in the Final Four.
In the college football playoff ranking.
But to get to the Big 12 championship.
Right, Big 12 championship, they're still in charge. Bear, do you like Baylor to cover today?
No, I don't. I like TCU, and I think it's a very dangerous game for Baylor. Laying a touchdown on the road.
Oklahoma next week.
Exactly, Oklahoma next week. Yeah. A lot of people realizing Baylor is legitimately good now, but the emotions at TCU. I know Duggan is hurt, and everything. It seems like everybody's hurt. I think TCU shows up though emotionally today with Jerry Kill. Keep it close.
Got to hit Quentin Johnston downfield. Yeah. He's got to make plays.
He's really good.
Really good, no matter who's quarterbacking. Yeah. And we didn't hit on Texas there. You did on your slate.
Yep.
I mean, 4-1, ahead of Oklahoma, looking like they're about to dominate Oklahoma. And now here they are at 4-4, and they're going to Ames. Where it's crazy.
The way he talked about the Baylor TCU game, it kind of reminds me of talking about Michigan State and Purdue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think the X factor is going to be Dave Aranda. I think Baylor's going to be fine.
Hey, this crowd back here, we're up here in overcoats. There are dudes down there taking off their shirt. They're feeling the heat from the Bearcat Nation.
Maybe he had a drink or two.
Jen Latta, you in the middle of all of this?
Guys, I have never seen anything like this Cincinnati crowd. They brought their sledgehammers, they brought their pitchforks, and we caught up with some Cincinnati fans, and let's just say, guys, they are as fired up as you'd expect them to be.
I wasn't surprised at all. You know why? Because the College Football Committee is a bunch of frauds. They all represent Power 5 schools. The bias is unreal.
Always going to look at the Power 5 schools like they're big daddies and we're sons. Like, it's so stupid.
We beat Notre Dame, so why are we in 6th place? I got beef with you, Gary Barta. I got beef with you.
It's really unfortunate that you guys are sleeping on us, but in the end, we'll make it to the top.
Being an undefeated team is more important than losing
losing against a good team. It means nothing. Win all your games. That's the most important thing.
You're going to see what the Cats are going to do to Tulsa tomorrow. Cats by 90.
Why not? We have seen some epic signs, very creative, some a little more savage. I have been loving all of the energy that this Bearcats crowd is bringing to College Game Day this morning. Coming up next, let's hear what our guys think about Cincinnati's path to the playoff and the college football playoff rankings. More College Game Day right after this.
With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn unlimited 4% cash back on dining out, 4% on entertainment, 4% on takeout and popular streaming, and now 3% at grocery stores. Earn unlimited cash back for going out or staying in with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
One of the best ways to relieve sore, aching, stiff muscles is professional massage. But it can be expensive and inconvenient. Not anymore. With the High Nano Massage Gun, the powerful, ultra-compact, portable massager that you'll use all the time. From weekend athletes to seniors, anyone can enjoy the relaxing, pain-relieving benefits of deep tissue massage at home, on the go, anywhere, and anytime. About the size of a smartphone, the High Nano Massage Gun easily fits into any purse or bag. The powerful, compact, cordless High Nano uses the proven science of percussive therapy with precisely calibrated pulses to reach deep into tissues and muscles. How does the Nano compare to a regular massage gun? The Nano's quiet brushless motor provides 4 deeply penetrating massage beads and is more powerful than the full-size massage gun. Available with 5 massage heads for therapeutic combinations just right for you. Use the round head for large muscles and muscle groups, the fork massage head for neck, arms, and Achilles, the bullet head to target pinpoint areas, and the flat head for other parts of the body. It even works on plantar fasciitis. Also available is the amazing new gel head. Chill it in the freezer to enjoy an extra level of cooling relief. Each charge provides 6 to 8 hours of cordless use. Comparable massage guns sell for as much as $200. Order now to get the High Nano with 4 heads for only $49.99. But if you order right now, we'll also include our proprietary cooling gel head for soothing relief from inflammation, yours free. Order now to get the High Nano with 4 heads for only $49.99.
Call 1-800-401-8720. That's 1-800-401-8720.
What's better than playing video games? Making them. And now, anyone can. With Pixicade, the video game maker that turns what you draw into a playable video game. Thousands of new games are being uploaded every week. Pixicade is easy to get started. Just draw a game, snap a picture in the Pixicade app, and in less than 30 seconds, you can play your very own video game. There are so many different game types to try. Pixicade even lets you share with others anywhere.
I'm not just a gamer, I'm a creator. I can't believe I could make my own video game.
I get to see my child's creative side come to life.
Over 500,000 games have already been created, developed by top teachers and game designers, and rated 5 stars by parents everywhere. Order the award-winning Pixicade Game Maker for just $19.99. It comes with the step-by-step books and codes to unlock game creation in the app, plus a bonus avatar sticker sheet. Go online at Pixicade.com to order. That's Pixicade.com.
You want fries with that?
Introducing Wendy's new hot and crispy fries. Preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. Try them today, only at Wendy's.
I got some good friends that live down the street. Got a good-looking woman with her arms around me. Live in a small town where it feels like home. I got everything I need and nothing that I don't.
I can't imagine needing anything else on a college football Saturday morning. I think I've just made maybe 10, 15,000 new friends. live right down the street here. There's been a giant Bearcat over my shoulder. Easy with that pitchfork. You don't want to deflate him now. This is not the time to deflate the Bearcats. This is the time to pump them up as they try to finish strong. We'll go all access with the crowd favorite Cincinnati Bearcats as they get ready to take on Tulsa, a rematch of the American Championship game last year. Kenneth Walker, he might be the star of the transfer portal this year. Heisman buzz surrounding him. G. Wojciechowski on how he made the move from Wake Forest to Michigan State. And our celebrity guest picker, huge Cincinnati sports fan, grew up on this campus. Former GameDay correspondent Nick Lachey will join us. Can't wait to have Nick join us to talk a little Bearcat football and make some other picks as well. The college football playoff standings go a little something like this. Georgia's number 1 and Cincinnati is back at number 6, despite the fact that the Bearcats and Dogs had a battle in a bowl game last year. Of course, all of these teams hope that they can capture this, the College Football Playoff National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. Cincinnati thinks it's within grasp, but what is it about the resume that got the reaction from the chair of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, Gary Barta?
I would say the committee has great respect for Cincinnati. The win at Notre Dame clearly at Notre Dame is a really impressive win. When you look at their schedule after that, or who they played after that, who else did they beat?
Who else did they beat? Now look, I don't think that's true about Gary Barta, but there is this. Cincinnati's built equity. They played Georgia last year in the bowl game. It came right down to a field goal in the final seconds of the game to give Georgia the win. Now, I know Georgia had players missing and some guys had opted out, but if you go look at the tape, look at the depth chart and the box score from that game, 6 guys listed as starters on this powerful Georgia defense this year were listed as starters last year. A handful of other guys made huge plays. So, look, it's not like Kirby Smart ran a bunch of Sigma News out there last year against Cincinnati. That's a legit team. But Cincinnati's legit, but it is a fair question to ask, how high should they be ranked, even if there is a cacophony of noise trying to stop people from asking the question.
Another snub for Cincinnati, undefeated, and it didn't matter. The win against Notre Dame was not enough.
That feels disrespectful to me to have them at number 6.
Who else did they beat?
Who was the chairman? I don't know.
Gary Barta from Iowa, I believe.
Barta, did he play football? I don't know. That would be something that bothers me more. You know, when somebody goes on there and wants to make comments about who you are and what you should do. This is who we are. This is what we do.
Perfect term for the snub is being friend-zoned by the college football playoff.
You can't just go undefeated. You've got to play all your non-conference games on the road, and you have to win every game by 50 points in your conference if the conference isn't all that good. It is a shockingly impossible standard to reach.
So outside the Power 5, Cincinnati has the highest ranking, breaking their own record. They're now at 6th. 6 undefeated teams have been left out of the playoff field in the final rankings, and 1-loss teams have never been ranked higher than 15th. That's among those outside the Power 5. And I do feel obligated to clean up one question that has been brought up by many, asking whether Gary Barta played football or not. Well, he has 3 national championship rings, if that counts for anything, as a member of the North Dakota State Bison. So, yes, he did indeed play football. All right, but there is 2 different kinds of questions here. Cincinnati, the resume is not going to measure up. So the question is, are they good enough? How good are they? What do you make of Cincinnati's case?
I'm glad you touched on the Georgia game for me. And I know we're supposed to look at seasons within the season, but it's human nature. If Cincinnati would have been blown out by Georgia, we wouldn't be sitting in Cincinnati right now for College Game Day. That's how big of an impact that game had on the 2021 season. Let's be honest with each other. They started preseason top 10 because they lost on a last-second field goal to the team that we all have above everybody else. And you can go back and look at that game, and there are a lot of the players that didn't play are in the NFL right now. So Georgia had pretty much a full complement of that defense, and they stood in the middle of the ring and played with him. So to me, guys, Des, I think it's about last year combined with what they're doing this year, winning at Notre Dame. And now they just got to keep winning, and they got to look better than they looked last week against Tulane, because that doesn't help their case.
Let's be clear about this. When it's a group of 5 team, it's all about momentum. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So the momentum from 2020 carried into 2021, and that's what we were expecting from the Cincinnati Bearcats. Don't forget, we looked at their schedule and said, okay, they went toe-to-toe with Georgia, and now they got Indiana, they got Notre Dame on the road. We all thought that if they handled their business against these Power 5 teams, especially Notre Dame and South Bend, then they would deserve to be in the top 4 when the initial college football rankings came out. Plus, David, they were number 2 in the AP rankings. So it makes sense that you would think, okay, this team, they've done everything that you can ask of them to do, and they're still outside of the top 4. That's why I agree wholeheartedly with what Joey Galloway said.
And the playoff ranking committee, they don't look at the AP. They don't care. That's not important to them, which everybody else looks at it and goes, wait a minute, there were 2 last week. Why haven't it changed? Here's the thing. Is anything Ohio State has done up to this point as impressive as a top 10 win on the road for Cincinnati?
Yeah. Not opponent-wise, but style points-wise, for sure.
Style points, maybe.
Explosive.
Now we'll have talk.
Ohio State beat Indiana 44-7.
Yeah, if you compare Indiana and UC.
And so I would say UC also doesn't have a loss. So I just, to me, when I looked at it, I thought they would be ahead of Ohio State because they had a quality win. They had a really good quality win. They don't have a loss. So at this point, I think it would have been fair to have Cincinnati over Ohio State for me.
I have Cincinnati number 4. Cincinnati 4, and I'll tell you why. They won every game this year they're supposed to, and they beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame double digit.
Yep, 11.
No,
Signature win.
Yeah. So that, to me, was one of the most significant wins of the year. Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's a tough place. Road. Cincinnati, double digits against them. 4, Cincinnati 4, Cincinnati 4.
And remember, Notre Dame's got a legitimate shot to win out and go 11-1. Yeah. They need to be the biggest Notre Dame fans they've ever seen.
They are.
They boo, though, when you say Notre Dame. They need to realize that's good. Notre Dame's good.
Everyone's focusing on the negative. They're the highest-ranked Group of 5 team ever in the initial poll. The initial ranking of the college football playoff. They're ranked ahead of 2 undefeated Power 5 teams. That's a pretty darn good place to start. Ohio State and Michigan State are going to play. Alabama and Georgia are going to play. Oregon has potentially 2 games with Utah and rivalry games with Washington and Oregon State. Losses are going to happen. And the other thing, David, Des, you mentioned the people. I love the people who, we got to get rid of preseason polls. They skew bias, and it's based on evidence and no games played. Now we have a college football ranking where it's used based on evidence and games played.
Yep.
So Cincinnati's second in the polls that we want to get rid of, and 6th in the rankings that matter now because we have evidence.
Yeah.
So which is it?
That's a good point. I think he just touched on something. Like today we can argue, everybody can be upset. The reality is there's going to be carnage all around, and Cincinnati's going to keep winning. Cincinnati's going to be in the playoff at the end of the year. They're just out on the outside right now and frustrated. But people are going to lose. They're going to win. They're going to move up.
All right, here's a couple of things to keep in mind. We just put up notable win for Cincinnati is Indiana. That's not notable for anybody else, and it shouldn't be notable for Cincinnati.
Notre Dame.
Their resume
SMU will be, and Houston potentially.
Maybe, and the American is letting them down too, because you've got almost half the conference with 3 wins or fewer.
Yeah, that's bad.
They're 2-11 outside of Cincinnati against the Power 5, so it's subjective. Eye test. That's what Cincinnati has to pass to be able to get into the top 4 at the end, and people beating up on each other is going to help.
Yep.
We have every week when these come out, you have some surprises. Which surprise did you see that might have the longest impact going forward from the initial rankings?
Well, I was surprised when I saw Alabama at number 2. I thought that they would be a little lower because they lost to a second string, a backup quarterback when they lost to the Aggies. So I was surprised there. I thought it showed some sort of SEC bias to rank them that high in the initial rankings. You know, you guys talking about, well, this team's going to win, this team's going to lose. Well, you could have put Alabama maybe at 4 or something because, hey, they're going to play potentially in the SEC championship game. So they have an opportunity, at least a path to work themselves in the top 4, even if you put them at 4 or 5. But to put them at 2 showed me some SEC bias.
Yeah, to me, 2 through 7, you could pretty much shake up
roll the dice.
Roll them out, and they could come out 7 different ways.
And you wouldn't get
And I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if Oklahoma being down a little bit undefeated, about the only thing that maybe caught my eye.
The thing that surprised me is Ohio State not being number 3. Ohio State is great football. They will be in the top 3. They got plenty of chance.
All these games ahead of them. They're fine.
Because
they're
Ohio State was bombing everybody after that one loss. Ohio State should be number 3.
Who do you have? Where do you have Oregon at, 2? Or?
It's so
team that beat Ohio State.
I've been an advocate in these big non-conference games that why play them if only winning matters?
Absolutely.
100%.
The fact that the committee put Oregon ahead of Ohio State showed that right now it matters.
Right now.
If it doesn't matter right now that to play them, why bother playing these great non-conference games?
It's a good point
Oregon credit for going to Columbus.
And listen,
what about Stanford?
Oh, boy.
3 and
That's a
6.
quarterback.
Could be a disqualifying.
That should count. Here's where my problem was with Ohio State. I don't disagree with you. Who have they beat that's impressed you so far?
Last week was a good win.
Last week was a good win. You can say
lost
whatever you
Penn
want.
State team.
To me, that's a good win.
Okay,
that way Penn State played, that was a good win.
But compared to everybody else, when we start doing resume at this point,
right?
Resume is not as strong as everybody else at the top.
Right. But they have Michigan State ahead of them.
Correct.
Michigan,
if they went out, but we're talking about right now.
And
he's talking about putting them at 3 right now. That's why I would disagree. I don't think they're at 3.
They scored 60 a game.
Long way to go. A lot of ball to play. But there's one thing: comparative scores. Cincinnati had the edge against Tulane as opposed to Oklahoma, although they played a third-team quarterback. And don't think for a second that Cincinnati won't pay attention against Tulsa today. 4 minutes to go in Columbus. That was a 7-point game. Now, Ohio State scored, defensive touchdown, stretched out the margin. Could be the similar type margin today. They're favored by just about the number that the Buckeyes won by.
Cincinnati, number 4.
Here are the odds to reach the playoff right now. Bear? Play some money on Cincinnati real quick.
What do you got, Bear?
I probably would, but the amazing thing is how we're talking about how the season we think will play out. Ohio State, Oklahoma are favored to reach the playoffs.
Yeah, they are. Look at Michigan State.
Don't forget
who they have to play.
Don't forget Oklahoma State, Baylor. They went out. A couple of wins over Oklahoma.
Yeah, just
a lot of
football. A lot of football.
LSU and Alabama. We'll look back at some of the great moments in the rivalry. Nick Saban's going to join the show to help us break down that game that is coming up in Bryant-Denny. Final trip in there for Ed Ogeron, and there's some real glory in this city, not just from football. The Red Legs,
Big Red Machine,
Icky Shuffle,
Skyline, Jeff Ruby.
Brett Favre, legendary quarterback. Jerry Rice, legendary wide receiver.
You ready for your weekly meeting?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's do this. Let's stack the deck.
When legends play, they wear Copperfit Advanced Back Pro. Copperfit's best-selling compression back support just got better with new double-band adjustable supports for customizable compression when you need it most.
Since I put this on, I feel so much better. The core is the most important thing. To know that I'm stabilized here. Whatever I'm doing, I can give it 100%.
4 built-in stabilizing supports designed to improve posture and help reduce lower back stress and strain.
You have back pain and it's affecting your everyday life. Do something.
If you can find something to help you get back out and be active like Copperfit, go for it.
Absolutely.
Do not give up.
A high-performance compression fabric infused with the powerful properties of copper, 360-degree flexible mobility, and lightweight, durable construction.
Nothing more painful than having back pains. If you're aching, if you feel like you can't work out anymore, you can. And that's with Copperfit.
Yeah. It's for all of us who still want to be active, still want to compete.
Way to go. That's what I'm talking about. Man, this really does feel good. It feels to me like the fountain of youth.
Copperfit's best-selling back support just got bigger, badder, and better. Or call 1-800-601-4542 or on the web at advancedbackpro.com. Get yours now for only $19.99.
This does feel good.
That's what I've been saying.
You think it was fair?
It was fun.
Play for the love of the game.
Copperfit, live limitless.
Yeah, dude, that doesn't look good.
I know what to do. I'm going to cashnetusa.com. I can apply in minutes, and if approved, I can have the money as soon as the same business day.
Go to cashnetusa.com to apply for the money you need.
You know what hurts? But you know what's painless? Using ZocDoc to find a podiatrist.
Read any good books lately?
ZocDoc makes healthcare easy.
Cover it up. That's what I did when I started losing my hair. But then I realized I could actually do something. Now I use Keeps, the easiest way to keep my hair. And it only costs $1 a day, which means no more covering up. Get started at Keeps.com.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Be one of the first 100 callers who schedule a free in-home consultation and receive $500 off.
You're elite or you're not. Major upset. This is monumental.
Coming up at noon Eastern Time, Missouri coming in without its quarterback Connor Bazelak to take on Kirby Smart and Georgia. They've beaten the Tigers 7 straight times. Touchscreen counting us down to kickoff now in 45 minutes until they get started in Athens. Georgia, of course, has lost its starting left tackle, and they have some issues off the field as well. Their leader in sacks, Adam Anderson, is indefinitely suspended from the team after being accused of raping a woman in the wee morning hours on October 29th. It is a charge he has denied vehemently through his attorney, but he remains suspended. Our Mark Schleybaugh is the one who first reported this story, and he joins us now. Mark, what is the latest on the investigation of Adam Anderson's situation?
Steve Sadow, Adam Anderson's attorney, sent an email to the UGA Athletics Department on Friday requesting that it immediately reconsider his suspension because there has been no conclusion to the legitimacy of the alleged sexual assault. I was texting with Sadow just a little while ago. He told me Georgia has not responded and he doesn't know where it's going.
Quickly, what is the time frame potentially for this investigation?
The Athens-Clarke County Police Department told me earlier this week that they're just in the infancy of their investigation. UGA's Equal Opportunity Office has opened its own investigation. Anderson and his attorney met with that office on Friday, talking to attorneys from this area who are familiar with the process. They said it could be weeks, if not months, so certainly it's going to be a while before Adam Anderson's back on the football field.
And it's Mark Schleybaugh reporting on this. Mark, thank you very much. So obviously, when you have a case like this, the first concern is with the alleged victim and making sure that everything is handled properly from a legal standpoint, from a university standpoint. But there is football and the impact on Georgia. So what is that without Adam Anderson, who up to this point in the season leads them in sacks?
Well, I think the biggest reason we all have Georgia number one in the consensus is because their defense, and it's elite, and it's deep, and they rotate guys in and out, and they got guys like Adam Anderson who doesn't have to play 40, 50, 60 snaps a game. So this dents them where they're the best, and it hurts their depth, and it makes everybody else have to play more. As listen, they're a team that wears everybody out. They just wear you down, wear you down, wear you down. And then now this is a guy on the field that you take off that it hurts your depth, it hurts your defense, and it makes you less multiple. There's a lot of things that hurt you now.
And you're over there every day at the facility getting treatment. I don't know, you get injuries and things you go over there for.
Surgeries.
He works out too hard. So the thing that we've always bragged about this Georgia team is how cohesive they are. I mean, it's truly, you hope as a coach that your team develops that kind of chemistry, and they have it. And he was a big part. He was right in the middle of that. So more than anything, I think they're always going to have talent. Are they able to withstand that aspect of the chemistry and just kind of keep being who they need to be and keep playing football?
As I was thinking about this situation, what came to mind, football-wise, is the piece that you did on the defense.
Yep.
And the common theme was how they were like a close-knit unit. They were like a family. Guys knew how to respond on the field without even communicating. It was like they knew what the other guy next to them was going to do, and that's what made them such a special unit. Now you're removing one of those pieces, a very, very important piece of that defense where they may not be on the same page as his replacement. So the defense is going to be interesting to watch this defense today against Missouri and see if they show any type of chinks in the armor, so to speak.
And we'll watch the warm-ups as that starts a little bit later on. That game follows us here on ESPN. One of the headline games in the SEC, always in early November, LSU and Alabama. Bayou Bengals come in at 4-4. Alabama second in the college football playoff rankings despite the loss to Texas A&M. Certainly things have changed since the last time LSU visited Tuscaloosa. This rivalry, you see, since 2007, this is when Nick Saban arrived. LSU has won just 4 times. Alabama won by 38 last year, a little payback for that 2019 game. Here's a little taste of what it's like inside the Bayou Bengals and the Tide.
LSU versus Bama isn't just a game. It's a football fist fight. You don't play in it as much as you survive it. During the last 14 seasons, you can't swing a chin strap in this game without hitting a Heisman winner, an NFL first-rounder, or better yet, an unlikely hero.
Sims, the Andrew White touchdown.
This is a game of oversized moments played on a grass stage and often with national championship hopes hanging by a November thread. What other rivalry gives you 5 field goals
Place kick. LSU wins.
and calls it the game of the century? And where else can you find a lame duck and the Aflac duck in the same place? Alabama has won 9 of the last 10 meetings and, pardon the rat poison, is favored big to make it 10 of the last 11. But here's the thing about Bama and LSU. Lopsided lately? Yes. Dull? Never.
Will be intense, an opportunity for LSU to sort of salvage what has been a disappointing season. Pleased to be joined now by the head coach at Alabama, Nick Saban. Nick, Alabama and LSU during your time there have played for championships so often. How would you describe the impact on your team's perspective of the rivalry when LSU is not fighting for a championship, just fighting to beat Alabama?
Well, I think for us, it's no different because we're sort of no different than being in the playoffs. We have to play well in November. We have to finish the season strong. LSU is always a formidable opponent. They're a very dangerous team because they're very talented, and when they played well this year, they played extremely well. So the game to us, even though it may not be the same to them in terms of what the outcome might mean, it means a lot to us, and it means the same to us in terms of how we have to finish this season.
Coach, you know you're the king when even the group of 5 teams don't like you. So you're the man. Congratulations. I wanted to just ask you about Bryce Young and the way he's playing this year as a first-year starter, what you've seen from him and what you've learned to really appreciate about his style and his approach to the game.
Well, Bryce has, first of all, played extremely well for us. And, we thought a lot of Bryce when, he was a backup last year. He just didn't get a lot of opportunity because of the COVID year. But Bryce is a great competitor. He's very smart and intelligent, instinctive football player who prepares really well for the game, has a good understanding of what they're doing on the other side of the ball. He makes really fast decisions, which I think is important. He has great judgment, and he's very accurate with the ball. So the combination of all those things has made him a very effective performer. And his personality is not one that he doesn't get his feathers ruffled very easily, which is really kind of good for that position.
And sort of along those lines, Nick, I heard you say this week that while players should always want to be at their best regardless of the outside circumstance, it's a fact of life that revenge or redemption can be motivating. You guys beat LSU last year, but the last time they came to Tuscaloosa, there were some things that ruffled the feathers of the Alabama players. If you know that's a factor, how do you use it?
Well, I think the players are aware of that. It's on YouTube all the time that you can see, what happened after the game. And but still, I think the reason that you want to play this game is, what's on the line for us. Your legacy as a team lies in the balance of the season. So how much does that mean to you? What's the game mean to you? Each and every game that you play, and what are you willing to sacrifice in preparation and work ethic to get to where you can be your best as a football player at this time of year, which is the most important time of the year, once you put yourself in a position which we have.
Coach, I want to ask you a big picture question. You get to November, and you're used to being in this position with rankings and outside noise and debates, and I know you do a very good job of keeping your team focused. What have you found for coaches? The pressure is different in November and December. What have you found works for you as far as blocking that out and getting the team locked in on what really matters?
Well, I think that's the biggest challenge that we all have because in this day and age, I think external factors, which you referred to as noise, I've referred to it as rat poison before, does have an impact and effect on, how people think, how players think, what they think they need to do to respect what it takes to win a game in preparation, as well as emotionally ready to play when they get there, to have the right intensity, to be able to sustain and perform well. So this is very tricky and challenging, and I think making players aware of it, having good leadership on your team that can identify internally when certain players are not all into what they need to be doing to play well. And it comes down to accountability. Everybody needs to be accountable to do their job. Everybody needs to be accountable to each other. And I think that's a really critical factor internally to be able to sustain the kind of performance and not be affected by external factors.
Nick, always great to see you. We really appreciate your time this morning. Wish you the best of luck against LSU tonight on ESPN.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
We are doing that for sure. He's wanting to move over to Saban for Luke Fickell. They were chanting for Fickell during the interview. He's coming. Luke Fickell's coming. And so is Alabama and LSU. 7 o'clock Eastern time tonight. Kirk and Chris Fowler. Holly Rowe will be on the call for you from Bryant-Denny Stadium at 7 o'clock.
Gotta load that barrel up. I need a lot to talk about.
Hut Screen counting us down to kickoff. There is Lane Kiffin. They're getting set to face Liberty.
No bow tie on us, huh?
Hour and 34 minutes. I think Hugh Freeze probably knew his way into Vaught Hemingway Stadium. We're going to hear from Hugh Freeze, the former Ole Miss coach.
Be careful here. Be careful.
Super dog lean right there. We'll hear from Hugh Freeze later on in the show as he returns to Oxford. An emotional time for him for sure. This is what's going on in the SEC today. Auburn A&M, we've talked about. Don't sleep on State and Arkansas. Mississippi State ranked there. And then the only SEC game that has nobody ranked is Florida and South Carolina. What do you think quickly is going on in Florida right now?
It's a mindset. You listen to Coach Dan Mullen. He talks about the mentor approach by his teams that something goes wrong. Guys like, oh, shoot, as opposed to saying, that's no problem. I got your back. Let's handle that. They need to get in the right mindset. It shows up on the field every time they play, and that's the issue.
Way to keep it PG there. I like that. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
That's a good job there. It's ugly. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been good. They got to find the mojo, and they've lost their offensive mojo. Defensively, they've been up and down for the last 2 seasons. So they got to figure something out again.
I think we got a taste of Anthony Richardson early, and we all got excited about his potential. And then when you continue to watch him, you just see how the game is still moving pretty fast for him. I wouldn't be shocked to go back to Emory Jones and just ride him out the rest of this year. I also think this is a team that's got to start playing with some pride on defense. Maybe South Carolina's a game that can get them going in the right direction, but unnecessary, unwarranted heat on Dan Mullen as far as the press conference. Hey, we're not focused on recruiting. Obviously, the guy focuses on recruiting every single day of the year.
People got all upset about that. He just didn't want to talk about it right then. That was all.
Yeah.
State and Arkansas, I'm keeping a close eye. Give me a quick early lean, Auburn A&M.
Ooh, early lean. I'm going with the Tigers. Early lean.
Okay. I'm leaving Auburn, too. Bo Nix has been showing me something. Now, Calzada showed us the magic against Alabama, but we ain't seen it since.
Exactly.
Bo Nix, man. We're going to talk about him later. And it's Brian Harsin, it's Mike Bobo, and the receivers and the line. So there's a lot there, but, man, it's still A&M.
Take Bigsby.
At home.
Yeah, 12 man.
You want to go Auburn so badly, but you know everybody else is going A&M. I mean the other way around. You want to go Auburn. That's what you want. You don't want to go the same way. Bear, lean, quick. A&M?
A&M, I like A&M. I think they finally decided that their best players are Spiller and Sean, just run the ball, and that Alabama would totally turn their season around.
Hey, that top game on the board, you've got Tennessee and the turnover machine that is Kentucky.
I'm going with the turnover machine today, Kentucky.
No.
Yes,
Oh.
absolutely. I think Rodriguez is going to be okay. I think he'll play. And this line completely flipped. Now, you talk about a Tennessee team with that defense on the road against a Kentucky team. And I don't know. I'm just going to take the value against that closing line.
Bear's not a public guy one way. He's going the other way.
I like Kentucky myself. I feel like 2 straight losses, going to show up in a bad mood, run the football, and keep Hendon Hooker on the sideline.
And I always like Kentucky.
I like UK.
You always like Kentucky.
I do. Yeah. It's going to be good on Rocky Top.
Oh, really?
I like it on Rocky Top.
There he is. Look at him.
See, I told you guys he was coming. The head coach of the Bearcats, Luke Fickell. Going to work the selfie stick and then come join us on College Game Day. Luke has one primary job. Others had just one. Oh, no. You had one job coming. It's a net gain, trust me. And then Bearcats behind the scenes, all access with this Cincinnati program, including we'll look into seeing just how much they like the storied chili here.
The real question is, why didn't you get your tickets earlier? Did you doubt us of some sort, huh?
Hey, don't go anywhere. I don't know why you would. Much more to come on College Game Day. Quick word from Pizza Hut now.
That crowd.
It's game day. Aren't you supposed to be at the desk?
Technically, I am at the desk. Hi, I'm Kurt Herbstreit, here to talk football. You can't have football without the Hut. This guy's pretty good.
Attention CPAP users. Germs and bacteria can grow inside your reservoir, tubing, and mask. And cleaning them can be an expensive, difficult task. When you need to breathe easy, sleep great, and stay healthy, what you need is CleanZone, the affordable, portable CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. Just press, and CleanZone automatically cleans, sanitizes, and eliminates 99% of germs and bacteria from every surface of your CPAP reservoir, tube, and mask in minutes. No water, no added chemicals, no worries. You'll breathe in healthy, clean air and sleep peacefully.
I used to bug him to clean the CPAP machine, and I worried about how dirty it was.
But with the CleanZone, I just attach it to the tube, and within minutes, it's clean.
We love the price, too.
The secret is activated oxygen that is created by CleanZone's internal O3 generator. Plus, it's lightweight, compact, and portable.
I looked at other CPAP cleaners, and when I compared quality and price, CleanZone was my clear choice.
I can sleep with the peace of mind knowing that I'm breathing clean.
CleanZone works with virtually all make and model CPAP machines. It's powered by a long-lasting rechargeable battery and is maintenance-free. Just press, and CleanZone does the rest. You've seen other CPAP cleaners sell for hundreds of dollars, but during this special offer, you can get your CleanZone CPAP cleaner for just $199.99. Plus, we'll give you an instant $100 rebate. That's just $99.99. CleanZone comes with our full 60-day money-back guarantee. But to make this the cleanest offer on TV, we'll give you the CleanZone mask sanitizing bag absolutely free. You get the CleanZone CPAP cleaner for $100 off and the mask sanitizing bag absolutely free. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-364-0450 or go online to cleanzonenow.com.
If you're watching this, we know you're a fan. And we know why. Because of the heroes, villains, goats, the victories, dynasties, and Cinderella stories. And Cinderella stories, and Cinderella stories. What you're a fan of, there's more of. This is the Disney Bundle.
Give it up! Say you're looking for the perfect present. You might try looking at the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face, as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their gifts. This Christmas, wrap it in red at Ace and get free assembly and delivery on grills.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
One leader falls, another rises.
It's time you grew your own shadow. That'll be the last thing you do.
We're at war, you and me. Yellowstone, 2-hour premiere event, tomorrow at 8. Exclusively on Paramount Network.
Our good friends at Wheels Up make sure that our celebrity guest picker arrives at College Game Day every week. This week, Nick Lachey grew up on this campus. Big Bearcats fan, big Cincinnati sports fan. He'll be our celebrity guest picker. He has experience as a Game Day contributor, too. Sunday NFL Countdown, Randy Moss weighs in on the OBJ situation, what to expect from the Pack without Aaron Rodgers, and how In the Air Tonight, Phil Collins' anthem became a pregame song for the NFL's biggest stars. Kickoff 10 a.m. Eastern time. We've got some news coming right now out of Lincoln, Nebraska, involving Ohio State and Nebraska. Garrett Wilson, one of the star wide receivers for the Buckeyes, will not play against Nebraska today. We're working on getting more information as to why. That C.J. Stroud will be without one of his primary targets, and when we get the opportunity, we'll let you know what the situation with Garrett Wilson is. Much more on that coming up. Just downstream a bit from Columbus in Cincinnati on the Commons, thousands and thousands of people out here getting ready. There is a long history of sports here, one of the 10 oldest programs in the country. It's a beautiful city, loves their sports, eloquently narrated in the history by one of its former elected officials.
The history of Cincinnati sports has always been a little bit crazy. I know Cincinnati, I was mayor here, and I absolutely know a little bit something about crazy. In 1869, the same year college football was born, the Cincinnati Red Stockings became America's first big league baseball team. The Reds went on to build upon that tradition with the Big Red Machine of the 1970s to the Nasty Boys of 1990. A century after baseball started, Paul Brown of professional football fame, the Cleveland Browns, founded the Cincinnati Bengals in 1969. Kenny Anderson, Boomer Esiason, the Ickey Shuffle. Twice, our beloved Bungles had their Super Bowl hopes dashed by Joe Montana. But now we have our own Joe Burrow. The Big O, Oscar Robertson of the NBA Cincinnati Royals and the University of Cincinnati's basketball team. Huggy Bear and Nick Van Exel. David West and the Xavier Musketeers. Indeed, sports have always been a jewel in the Queen City's crown. It's just been a while since someone won a ring. Maybe the Bearcats can finally, as I say, take care of themselves and each other and everyone in our beloved city.
Jerry Springer. In a related story, we'll talk Texas football later on in College Game Day. But as it stands for Cincinnati, look at the history of winning here. 9 team national championships for UC, 7 of them in dance, 2 of them in men's basketball. And wouldn't it be a perfect 10 to add football to the list? We go all access with the Bearcats.
It's not open yet? Well, we at least brought you some breakfast. No, you were actually praying for this?
Can I get a picture with
Sure.
you? Do you mind? Thank you so much.
Don't move your spot in line now.
What makes Cincinnati a special school to play for?
The community and the city. The real question is, why didn't you get your tickets earlier? Did you doubt us of some sort, huh? From where we've come from 5 years ago to now, has really kind of made an engagement with the community, made an engagement with our campus.
I'm so excited.
We're out here doing our weekly uniform reveal. This week we're wearing all red. Yes, sir.
3 cheese conies, just chili and cheese, and a large 3-way. The Skyline's on.
You guys. Sorry, man.
Oh. We call Tuesday Bloody Tuesday because it is a fast physical day.
You go doing too much. You're doing too much early, bro. I got something for you. Oh! What's going on? From the D-line all the way to the secondary, we all have that dog mentality and to go out and execute. Hey, dogs on 3, dogs on me. 1, 2, 3.
We're doing a little media day. It's a lot of attention this program this week.
What was your reaction to the initial college football playoff?
Didn't have much of a reaction. Didn't wait to see it. Didn't watch.
You can't really pay attention to any of that stuff. You know, it's always work to be done.
And I hit a little lift with the boys, Desmond Ritter, Josh Wyatt, and Leonard Taylor.
Squeeze, that's
We're here, Alec. We're here. Brian and Alec have the great fortune of being able to be mechanical engineers and take this class. What's cool about it is we spend a year building a formula-style race car.
These things are built to hold a 220-pound. Oh my goodness. This is why we're not the drivers. This is Bearcat Motorsports, brought to you by UC Football, baby.
I don't know where they go.
All right, here we go. Kickoff, return. Don't overthink it, right? Be physical with what we're doing, all right? Don't avoid blocks. Run with speed. Don't avoid blocks and leverage the damn football.
Our focus is November. We know what that's about. Step, step, step downhill, all right? That's just like that's a Michael Jackson, like, ain't that what he did? I'm messing with you, man. All right.
My favorite game week tradition is quarterback dinners on Thursday night. It's a good time for us to just kind of relax and to get our minds right before the game week.
Let's just be like the rest of the day and this weekend if we have another game against Tulsa. Watch over, protect us, you got us. You do the same, man.
What I heard on Tuesday night was, we respect you, but not that much. And that's not right.
Wherever it takes us, but I know this, that you got one heck of a football team that loves their university, loves their community, and is excited about competing every Saturday, but especially tomorrow. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.
Well, they all showed up early for Luke to see them on this homecoming weekend at Cincinnati. The Bearcat head coach worked at Ohio State, spent 16 seasons at the alma mater, served as head coach in 2011, won a couple national championships there as an assistant, and built this program in Cincinnati. And by the way, Kelsey Sharkey did a brilliant job with that week-long behind-the-scenes look at Luke Fickell's program. And pleased to be joined by the head Bearcat. They've been calling for you all morning, Luke. I mean, when you think to the time you took this job to what's happening here today, what's your reaction to that?
I don't know that you really can fathom that when you start off. You know, you're so focused on the things you got to do, and you're micromanaging all the little things, and you have a hard time kind of letting all the other things kind of happen. But you hope and believe that someday this can happen, and it's just really kind of, you'd like to be able to step back and look at it and enjoy it a little bit. But when you're in the midst of it, it's really difficult to do that.
Played 4 years at Ohio State, assistant coach for 16. You lived in that lane for a long, long time, one of the blue bloods. Now you're in this group of five world of the insanity, the noise, and I know you do the best you can not to worry about it and all that, but what's the difference, the different challenges between being at Ohio State and being at a place like UC?
Well, I think sometimes where I was before, you get used to kind of running in the lead, you know, and you're kind of used to the attention and the positive things that are going on, and you learn how to handle it. And, you know, what the thing that we've prided ourselves on is kind of being that guy that's been in the bushes and had to fight our way through from year one. They didn't pick us to even win a game, to then all of a sudden you start to kind of get yourself out in front a little bit, and you got a little bit more of a target on your back, and trying to find that balance to handling and enjoying what's going on, but also not allowing it to change who you are, what you've done, and how you've done it, most importantly.
You talk about being the group that talks about fighting and being in the bushes. I think you guys do a fantastic job of how you represent yourselves. But because of the college football rankings, people are saying, well, they kind of struggled against the Navy, struggled against the Tulane. What did you learn about your team against those two opponents, Navy and Tulane?
Well, we learned that we've got to be who we are and continue to be who we are. We can't try to say, hey, what does everybody outside think we should be? Do they think we should have this style? Do they think we should do it in certain ways? Guys, we got to be who we are, be true to ourselves, understand it's about winning football games. And if that means you got to win a little bit ugly, we've done that for quite a few years. You know, sometimes you get a little bit spoiled when you win pretty a few weeks in a row. But don't lose sight of who we are and most importantly, how we got to be where we are.
I'm not really sure that a guy like you would know much about winning ugly. I mean, have a look at you back in the day when you were playing. I mean, right here,
Yeah, it's crazy.
In the back, there's Herbie in the front row.
Yeah.
Oh, as always.
Quarterback's in the front row.
Herbie in front of the camera.
Yes,
That's the
exactly.
first
Look
thing.
at my man, by the
Look at
way.
you, man.
Yeah. Back row back there. The
No, look at this shot.
Guy started more games in the history of anybody at Ohio State football.
We were quite as good back when Herbie was there, so I could able to start it.
We go back, man. Braves, right in there. Both these guys played at Ohio State, but went on to have
very fortunate to have an unbelievable crew of guys, and I think that to me is when I got into coaching. That's what I wanted to create. I wanted to create an environment, atmosphere that you're going to have the greatest friends and the greatest people for the rest of your lives. And locker rooms are different. You guys know. I mean, and there's something special about that locker room, and that's all we wanted to really create here.
You know, I remember talking to you at the end last year, and you said we didn't give them a reason to include us by the way we finished. What's your message to your team starting today against Tulsa and for the rest of the season about how they need to finish?
Oh, it's all the game. Really, the season starts in November, and I think that's where you gotta, all the training in the off season. I know you can't. You got to put yourself in a position to get to that last month stretch, but we're there, and now we've got to do what it is that we've done in the past and continue to grow. And like I said, last year, you couldn't go up there and pound the table just the way you had finished. I know it was a tough year, and we went through a lot of things in those last 3 weeks before the championship game. But the reality is now, guys, we got to block out the noise. We got to continue to push and let the chips fall where they fall.
They're hanging on your every word. What do you want from them out there in Nippert Stadium today? You need a little something from them?
Just what it's been this whole year. Last year we missed a lot. A lot of us missed a lot last year. We had a really good season, a good team. But what those guys missed was this energy, on campus, in the stadium, and to have what we've had the whole year. We're going to continue that today.
It's awesome.
Luke, congratulations on all the success up to this point. Wish you the best of luck the rest of the year, too. Thank you so much. This is great.
Appreciate it for having me.
Great
Thanks.
turnover. Luke Fickell, head coach at Cincinnati, joining us here on the College Game Day set. He is a crowd favorite. That'll happen when you have your team ranked 6th with the opportunity to be ranked even higher. In the AP poll, they're ranked number 2. See the number of Group of 5 teams ranked. There are fewer of them ranked in college football playoff rankings. UTSA is one of those teams, one of the 6 unbeatens. The Roadrunners go in to take on a scrappy UTEP team. Now, UTSA, sometimes people get the initials mixed up and call them the United States Tennis Association, USTA. Well, the Roadrunners, they served up an ace and locked down their head coach.
I am very happy to announce this is your guy, this is our guy for the next 10 years.
Freaking United States Tennis Association coming to your house, El Paso! You gonna bring that juice? Yes, sir! Let's go, incredible chump! It's gonna work. Ric Flair in the house! Ric freaking Flair! Woo! Game ready, Spencer. What's gonna work, Spencer? Woo! Drop it down, ready, Lee! Be smart, bend, keep your face mask out of people, and I'll do the same with them guys. Everybody good? Great ride. That way, practice. Nice job, tennis team. Oh! Hell of a job there.
And coaches will find any way to play the disrespect card on the tennis team when they mix up their names. This is what UTSA is doing this year. Have a look at that while you give me a quick pick, Des.
I tell you what, I like the Roadrunners in this game. A little tougher game than they anticipate, but I like them to win.
It's because the second line, their dominant defense. Clarence Hicks is playing outstanding. They win this game. Could be close, but I think they remain unbeaten.
And Jeff Traylor, the Texas high school legend, doing a great job with the Roadrunners and being rewarded handsomely as we go down to join Jen and David.
That was great. We were all fired up by that. Woo!
Get ready to
Woo! That's right. It is time for You Had One Job, presented by Geico. Some of our favorite moments from the last week or so in all of sports. Now, we know how good the Ohio State football team is, but what about the Ohio State marching band? Watch this. I mean, you got to love how they put Michigan in the trash.
Oh, love it, love it. Hey, they're pretty creative. They're pretty good.
Very creative. If you had one job and
they
it was
put Michigan in the
Michigan.
trash, y'all gonna appreciate that.
All right, how about this? Wisconsin versus Iowa. How do you catch a badger, David?
A net.
In this case, it is a net.
Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
I've never seen somebody go into a net on the sideline.
Oh, you mean have I ever seen it before?
Yes, I've
no,
never
that's
seen
the
that.
first time
I've
ever seen
a
that.
lot of kickers use those. I've
Remember
never
when
seen
they used to say get the net? This is all about rejection, which I usually think about with basketball, but I guess it happens in the stands.
Bring it in,
as well.
Oh, friend zone.
And then she does the eyelashes. I mean, she took every play out of the book, and he just said, nope.
Big swing and a miss.
Of course, Wake Forest has not been swinging or missing this year as they continue their undefeated run. Look at this crowd. This crowd had one job, guys, and they absolutely knocked it out of the park, didn't they, Reese?
Oh, yes. They did indeed.
I still can't get over the look. She gazed into the eyes there forever.
Man, you guys put them on blast like that.
The dude just
come on, you had one job.
Come on, give her some sugar already.
I mean, he just looked that right off.
Alrighty then.
Hudson counting us down to kick off Wake Forest and North Carolina. Remember, won't count in the ACC standings. They scheduled the game because the conference didn't have them playing each other in the normal rotation. And the Hut Screen counting us down to kick off Pittsburgh and Duke in an hour and 11 minutes. Man, Duke has been a mess. Let's see if they can turn it around against Pitt. Steve Wojciechowski, one of the most impactful players in college football in his trip through the transfer portal.
After the game, he came up to me in the locker room.
I told him, thank you for taking a chance on me.
And I laughed. I said, taking a chance on you, thank you for taking a chance on us.
BarkBox isn't just a monthly delivery of dog goodies, it's a passport to a whole new world. With toys and treats from a different theme every single month. To start your dog's adventure, go to BarkBox.com.
Everyone loves the benefits of compression socks, but they're just so hard to get on. Until now. Introducing the all-new Copperfit Energy Socks, redesigned for the first ever easy on, easy off fit to help reduce swelling, relieve tired, achy muscles, and provide energizing support. A new blend of stretch fabric for the most comfortable, easy on, easy off compression fit.
Being a SWAT commander, we train to win. The Copperfit Energy Socks, they didn't feel like other compression socks. They totally exceeded my expectations.
Our most powerful copper-infused fabric, woven into our easy on, easy off compression sock to help reduce swelling discomfort from prolonged sitting or standing.
I'm 38 and a half weeks pregnant. Copperfit Energy Socks worked beautifully.
Extra support around the arch and ankles for increased support and relief of muscle aches and pains.
I'm so excited about these socks. I'm so much more energized to go do things after a day of work. They just slip right on, yet they still have that same compression that you want.
A soft cushion footbed for all-day comfort.
I'm on my feet at least 9 to 10 hours a day. These were fantastic. A lot of compression socks are a little too thin, especially for what I do. With Copperfit, I could wear these every day.
Feel more energized, feel more active, just feel better.
They just hug your leg. It relieves all the pressure that you have. I have so much energy, I can go, hey, you want to dance?
The first ever easy on, easy off compression sock. The most comfortable compression sock you will ever wear. Get your Copperfit Energy Socks now online at GetEnergySocks.com for only $19.99 or call 1-800-614-1032. Order right now and we'll include a second pair of compression socks free.
I've never felt anything like it before.
No more pain, no more swelling, no more achy, tired feet.
I can never go back to regular compression socks again.
Don't settle for ordinary. Ask for the original by name, Copperfit Energy Socks.
With Drizzly, I can shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor. I just open the app, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes.
Drizzly also lets me shop from multiple stores in my area and compare prices on thousands of products.
Ding dong, Drizzly.
First Saturday in November with this great rivalry.
It is the SEC under the lights.
LSU, Alabama, tonight at 7 on ESPN.
We all know that movement is like medicine, but getting the movement you need to feel better can be a challenge. Now you can keep fit while you sit with QB, the world's leading compact seated elliptical. QB gives you active sitting, letting you burn calories and keep moving in an easy and low-impact way, all while you work, read, or watch TV. QB was named a top 10 gift by Time Magazine and has been featured all over the world. It's whisper quiet while it works your abs and core, hip flexors, glutes, quads, hamstrings, and calves.
QB is a lifesaver for me. Here's your answer to your problem.
I feel young again.
Join the hundreds of thousands of people moving more with QB. Call to find out how to get your QB with free shipping and a 30-day completely risk-free trial. You'll also get this QB workout mat free. Now keep fit while you sit with QB.
To order, call 1-800-413-4446. That's 1-800-413-4446. Call now.
Lee Corso just rejoined us. He said the shot from way up. It's a two-cannon day, LC.
What a crowd. You can't believe it. We're proud.
Great crowd. Great crowd. It's homecoming. We're in the Commons on campus in Cincinnati. And greetings from College Game Day as we approach the 11 o'clock hour at noon on ABC. Wake Forest and North Carolina, another reminder, not a conference game, the two quarterbacks. Pizza counts us down to kickoff in just over an hour. These two guys put up 1,300 yards, 112 points as the Heels came from 21 down to win last year. Sam Howell, Sam Hartman, you'll see that coming up on ABC at noon Eastern time. Also at noon, Ohio State going to Nebraska. Ohio State, as we told you, Garrett Wilson not playing in this game. They won 26 consecutive games against Big Ten competition, and Nebraska just keeps finding ways to lose. They've been so close so many times, and the Scott Frost era has really been a reflection of it. One-scored game.
You can't make this up.
I mean, you look at these numbers. He's played 23 one-score games. I mean, 8 points tonight. That's the third most in the nation in those 23 games.
It's not good.
No, it's awful.
Look at that.
5-18.
If you just went 500. Let alone,
you're right.
Win 15 of them.
I said earlier in the show, their turnover margin this year in the fourth quarter is -7 in the fourth quarter. And under Frost, it's -17 in those one-score games. So what's next in this matchup against the Bucs?
Self-inflicted wounds that turn out to be fatal over and over again. He has a good team, but they can't get out of their own way.
I don't know what could make this more disappointing. We got a good enough team to win these games, and we're not winning them.
There's still Nebraska across their chest. There's a lot to play for still. We got some teams coming that why not beat them?
And that'll do it. The Oregon Ducks come into Columbus and shock the college football world.
After we dropped the game at the beginning of the season, we're not trying to feel that again.
It's an underrated team. They're going to hit hard, big, fast, so we're going to have to bring our A game into a tough environment.
We've got to really prove how consistent we are here in November, because this is where championships are won.
That's what Ohio State wants to do. Nebraska trying to avoid another losing season. It's got 3 ranked teams coming up. Frost is 0-10 against ranked teams at Nebraska, and this year they've been right there, and they just can't quite win. What about today?
Well, from a coach's standpoint, I see great improvement in the Nebraska program. Let me tell you, here's the facts. All 6 of Nebraska's losses have been by 1 touchdown or less. 3 of the losses combined by the teams 24-1. I think, this is my opinion, as long as Tom Osborne is around Nebraska, Scott Frost is going to be the head coach.
That's what you think?
That's right, in my opinion.
Scott Frost looks like he's aged 10 years, two or three. I mean, it's grueling to watch. They're finding ways to lose games. This team could easily be 7-2. Easily, and it's a very different narrative. And I think that's what Ryan Day's been trying to get across to his team. The news today about Garrett Wilson being dinged, what that does, the deepest room on the Ohio State roster is the wide receiver room with Brian Hartline. So as Garrett Wilson goes out, young superstars get opportunities. Julian Fleming, number 4, gets his opportunity today to step up. And also, you'll see Marvin Harrison, the son of Marvin Harrison.
Hall of Famer, Marvin Harrison. Okay.
Number 18. He'll get his opportunity.
They got some depth.
4 and 18, young Bucks. Right. And do not be shocked if they make some big plays today with Olave and Smith in Jigba.
Yeah, I like Smith and Jigba too. I tell you what, but you can't take this Nebraska team for granted. I mean, you know that Ohio State has a lot of confidence. And Kirk just told you about how deep the wide room is. But if these guys haven't had the practice, if you haven't been out there with the first team, if you haven't been out there consistently with C.J. Stroud, I'm just really curious now to see what type of timing issues they may or may not have with these receivers who are stepping in. Now, of course, he has 2 bona fide superstar receivers that he can lean on with Chris Olave and Njigba. But if these other younger guys, have to step up, I'm just curious to see how these guys fit into the system.
I think you'll be proud. You'll be very happy. I watch him in practice, and I'm like, Jamison Williams was on this team. He's a difference maker at Alabama.
Right.
It's an embarrassment of riches. I think they win and win big.
Yeah, I think they win today too.
Yeah.
And if they win big, sets up maybe a showdown in a couple of weeks against number 3 Michigan State. If Sparty can get there, still perfect. Mel Tucker taking his team to West Lafayette, where top 5 dreams go to die. Purdue has 16 wins against top 5 opponents as an unranked team. That is 5 more in the bowl. 2018, you might remember this. Ohio State and Purdue, Jeff Brophy. I remember
the business that night.
Yeah.
He was incredible.
250 all-purpose yards. Purdue blew out number 2 Ohio State in the Tyler Trent game. Our friend there. And then this year against Iowa, David Bell went off that.
David Bell had 11 catches, 240 yards. He made just light work of that secondary.
Boilermakers up by 17. They forced 3 turnovers to finish the deal. They won it 24-7. Now, I told you Purdue's history. Sparty has a long history of face planting in exactly this situation. That is a fact that has not been lost on the head Spartan.
The Spartans have beaten Michigan again.
Our focus is on Purdue. They're a good football team, and they have a history of beating ranked teams when they're unranked. I have zero tolerance for any type of entitlement and casual attitude and things like that, but that's not going to, we're not doing that. We haven't come this far just to come this far. I mean, if anybody thinks that they're going to roll their helmet out there, they're not going to be going on a trip. We're going to be lean and mean, and whoever can get it done this week, that's who's going.
Hey, which line do you use for the most important one? Is it red or blue line?
It's a blue line.
Okay, here's blue line. Blue line. Among teams who have played at least 50 games as a top 5 team, Michigan State has the 3rd worst winning percentage. They've lost 7 times. 3 of those losses to the Boilermakers.
They love the underdog role.
I'm telling you.
Purdue? Yeah, they do. They really do. And you look at this game, it's the perfect recipe for upset. You know, you're looking at Michigan State Tuesday night. They turn on TV. They're number 3 in the nation. Huge win against Michigan. And then they got the Heisman front runner and the running back. But they said Mel Tucker is the X factor in this equation. They say he's going to be the guy who's going to get them ready for Purdue. Very easy to get them ready for Michigan. All you got to do is put that winged helmet in front of the guys. Guys' blood start boiling. Not the same emotional reaction when you put that Purdue helmet in front of them. So
Ross said.
This is going to be, exactly. Right. This is going to be, to me, one of his best coaching jobs of the year if they're able to take care of business.
I just feel like the greatest thing that's happened to Mel Tucker, so much noise this week about this being the upset.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing it. And you imagine being a Michigan State football player or a Michigan State coach? We got it. We're supposed to show up flat. We got it. We're supposed to get beat. I think it's going to be the opposite. I think they've heard so much about losing to Purdue that they're going to whip Purdue's fanny.
Not so fast, my friend, not so fast. I see letdown at Michigan State. Why? They've had close games against Indiana and Nebraska, and the combined record in the conference is 1 win and 10 losses.
Tuck coming.
And last week, they got 400 yards. They gave up 400 yards to Michigan.
Sweetheart.
Purdue at home. On the grass. Upset.
That grass is going to be tall.
Too obvious.
Slow down, Kenneth Walker.
You picking Purdue.
Yeah, that's right. You're picking Purdue. That might be a bad sign.
I'm picking Purdue.
Bear.
That's like you picking against me.
It's too easy and too obvious to think that that's upset.
Never happened.
Mel Tucker is a Nick Saban guy. Like, what he's done all week drilling this in,
rat poison.
They are well aware that this is a trap game.
Yeah.
But Michigan State's been defying the math all year long. Why are they going to start losing now? You take the lowest point in game from the Miami game, the Indiana game, the Nebraska game, and last week, you extrapolate that out, it would have given them like a 0.05% chance that they would have won all 4 of those games. They're not going to lose today.
I don't know, man. They only beat Indiana by 5.
I just
took a pick 6. The one thing I will say, they have Kenneth Walker, and you don't. Why leave Wake Forest? You know, you think the Deacons had this innovative offense, didn't fit his game, so he went from that patented slow mesh to the fast track through the transfer portal, Gene Wojciechowski.
Kenneth Walker III decided to leave Wake Forest in early January. One recruiting website was so unimpressed, they ranked him 79th among transfer portal prospects. That guy become the second leading rusher in the FBS and a Heisman frontrunner. He believed in himself, and so did Michigan State.
Hands to Kenneth Walker. He starts up the middle, cuts it outside. Walker. Can he get in? He's going to go all the way. Touchdown, MSU.
To have one of the greatest performances of any Spartan in the biggest game of the year.
To Kenneth Walker, blows through the Wolverines, on his feet at the 10. Kenneth Walker, touchdown, Sparty!
It was a day that folks will never forget.
Do you believe it? That's his 5th TD of the ball game.
Oh, sure. Everybody knows who Kenneth Walker III is now.
Hey, take off a Heisman!
But a season ago, he was a Wake Forest second stringer who was a virtual unknown to most college football fans and a complete unknown to Michigan State.
And a handoff, here's Walker. Following his blockers, takes a pop. And that went for just 2.
Walker didn't know it at the time, but that was the end of his Wake Forest career and the beginning of a football fairy tale.
I felt like I didn't really fit in that type of offense. I felt that I could show my skill sets in another offense.
Walker opted out of the rest of the season, returned home to Memphis, and on Saturday, January 2nd, he asked the Wake Forest Compliance Department to enter his name in the NCAA transfer portal. By Monday, he says, his world began to change.
Coaches, like out of nowhere, like hitting me up on Twitter and getting my number, and I'm like, how does that even work?
We have people dedicated to monitoring the portal. He would press refresh, every 30 minutes or so.
It's got a master list. There's thousands and thousands of kids that are on it. As soon as someone's name enters that portal, they're going to get that information to us.
Had you ever heard of Ken?
I'd never heard of Ken. This is the first time.
He was presented to me by our staff, and I watched his film. He's what I call a 10-play guy. If you have to watch more than 10 plays on a player, he's probably not for you.
I knew it after about 2. As soon as we watched the tape, it was so apparent that he was the dude.
In less than 48 hours, the dude went from the smallest school in the Power 5 to one of the largest. And because of COVID restrictions, he did so without seeing the Michigan State campus or Tucker in person until the day he arrived in January.
It was a lot of going through my mind. It was like, did I make the right decision?
You had to take a leap of faith.
Yep.
By the beginning of spring practice, Michigan State coaches knew they had a difference maker. On the first play of the season, Michigan State opponents knew it too.
Gets by a man 30, 35, 40. Touchdown, 75 yards. How's that for your first carry, your first play for your new team?
We didn't have a rushing touchdown last year at all, so the first one he takes for a touchdown, I'm sure I said some things I probably shouldn't have said after he scored that touchdown.
264 yards rushing in his debut for the Spartans.
I told him, thank you for taking a chance on me.
And I laughed. I said, taking a chance on you, thank you for taking a chance on us.
Walker says he still keeps in touch with his former Wake Forest teammates. He says he's rooting hard for them to go undefeated this season. And they tell him, Reese, we knew you could always do it. And so far, he's proven them right.
How about that, Gene? You leave one team that's sitting there undefeated at this point, and another one that's number 3 in the country. You can see them on ABC, 3:30 Eastern time. That's why Herbie's not picking the upsets. Not that early, sleepy kick.
Right, 11 a.m. local, Ross Say.
But there is one of those from PJ Fleck's team. They lead the Big Ten West.
They do.
He's counting us down to kickoff, 52 minutes.
Still a great shot to get to Indianapolis.
He got a new long-term contract.
He did. He deserves it. He's having a great year this year.
And we're going to see a lot of Mel Kiper's top quarterbacks in the noon window today. A couple of them going head-to-head with Matt Corral against Malik Willis. And the SEC showdown's a rivalry between LSU and Alabama and Auburn and Texas A&M. That might be the more meaningful game long-term in the SEC. And we'll break down the Bearcats. Wake up out there. We're coming back with more UC on homecoming as they get set to take on Tulsa.
You know, we really focus on the Black Hat brand, which is challenge everything, unit strength, and I think that's really taken us to the next level.
Corners, the safeties, the linebackers, the defensive line, we're all just a top-tier program.
Hey, we're rolling the final hour on College Game Day. Nick Lachey, our good friend, Cincinnati native, judge on Alter Ego, former College Game Day contributor, will be our celebrity guest picker.
What's better than playing video games? Making them. And now, anyone can. With Pixicade, the video game maker that turns what you draw into a playable video game. Thousands of new games are being uploaded every week. Pixicade is easy to get started. Just draw a game, snap a picture in the Pixicade app, and in less than 30 seconds, you can play your very own video game. There are so many different game types to try. Pixicade even lets you share with others anywhere.
I'm not just a gamer, I'm a creator. I can't believe I could make my own video game.
I get to see my child's creative side come to life.
Over 500,000 games have already been created, developed by top teachers and game designers, and rated 5 stars by parents everywhere. Order the award-winning Pixicade Game Maker for just $19.99. It comes with the step-by-step books and codes to unlock game creation in the app, plus a bonus avatar sticker sheet. Go online at Pixicade.com to order. That's Pixicade.com.
You usually can't see pollen, dust, or pollution. But you breathe it all in every day while you're driving. And your only line of defense? A basic factory cabin air filter. Most ordinary factory filters only block dust, but it's easy to replace your basic filter and upgrade to an advanced PureFlow cabin air filter. PureFlow's advanced multi-layer antibacterial filtration technology blocks up to 99% of airborne contaminants from entering your vehicle, including dust, pollution, pollen, and odors. PureFlow cabin air filters with activated charcoal are also designed to boost the flow in your ventilation system, blasting clean, healthy air throughout the entire car. And you can easily install a new PureFlow filter in minutes, all by yourself. Visit pureflowair.com to order yours today. PureFlow. Breathe better air.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get the channels you want with the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Try free at FuboTV.com.
2 out of 3 guys experience hair loss by age 35. Kinda scary. That's why I use Keeps. Keeps offers clinically proven treatments, and the sooner you start, the more hair you can keep. Get started for $1 a day at Keeps.com.
Designed specifically for pet parents, the Bissell Crosswave X7 Cordless Pet Pro Multi-Surface Cleaner vacuums and washes at the same time. It freshens area rugs and tackles tough, stuck-on messes in turbo pet mode, powerfully cleaning sealed hard floors. No surprise, it's our best crosswave for homes with pets. And other mess makers too. Whatever stage of pet parenthood you're in, Bissell helps you live in the moment, not the mess.
I challenge these guys this week to bring signs that walk right up to the edge. That might be over the edge. That is a tattoo in the lip.
Wow. All righty then.
Wow.
That's dedication.
That is. Yes. Dedication's one word.
Lasting impact.
Mail imbalance. That probably creates some controversy in many quarters.
The Committee of Clowns.
That's not nice. We saw that when Luke Fickell came out. They certainly trust him. Well, that would be three-time national champion Gary Barnard.
By the way, Gary's the greatest guy.
He's a great guy.
I bet he is. I bet.
He's put in a tough spot.
I thought the committee did a good job. They didn't take issue here and there. Open ranking's pretty good. Playoff rock.
Oh, man.
I
like that.
Hey, they're just swinging at the big ones too. Oh, hey, congratulations.
Congrats. Probably not the best way to tell them, but congrats.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, one of the things we try to do is give surprises here on College Game Day. Get to somebody. Oh, there's the famed Cincinnati chili. So what does exactly the players think about the chili here in Cincinnati?
I'm disgusted by it. It's the best, man. Cincinnati, the best.
Yeah, it's great. Is there another question?
People are gonna hate me. I grew up, like I said, I had it since I was like 6 or 7, so it's literally in my blood, I guess. Whenever I go there, it's just, I look at it and I'm like, how are people eating this?
Of those guys, only one is from Cincinnati. It's Darian Beavers.
And he's a fan. Here, you love it.
He's a fan. Right?
I visited here. Yeah. Not a fan.
I'm a fan. I like it.
We're a fan of all these folks. Look at the people on the beater car. I told them they might need to drive that thing to the playoff. You need a smooth ride car there. You know, sort of on the subject, I was thinking about the famed Cincinnati chili, and it might be a bit of an acquired taste. You might have to refine your palate, much like you do with this Bearcat football team, to get used to the idea that a team outside the Power 5 has a little bit more than a foundation built on a bunch of wet noodles. You know, it's something that you know they have enough spice on the top. So they have everything you possibly need for a championship recipe, in addition to a master chef to put all of the ingredients together just right.
Ritter is going to float one for Tucker inside the 10. Touchdown! Bearcats!
Ritter, he makes them go. He's really calm back there. He's seen a lot of different looks. He's getting everybody's best shot. You got to get pressure on him, but you got to be careful on how you do that because, you know, he can do so many things with his feet.
From year 1 to year 2 to year 3, his ability to handle some failures, it's allowed him to continue to grow. It's allowed the guys around him to recognize how much he has worked at what he has done.
Quick throw is intercepted. See ya! There goes. He'll take it to the end zone for a Cincinnati touchdown.
The corners, the safeties, the linebackers, the defensive line, we're all this top-tier program.
We really focus on the ball disruption, difference, tackling, and effort and attitude. I think that's really taken us to the next level.
The combination of those things really give us an opportunity to be aggressive and adapt even during games.
And that defense, Ahmad Sauce Gardner back there, contributed to this turnover margin of plus 13, third in the country. Outscored teams by more than 25 points per game. The efficiency is strong in all aspects of the game. The 24-game home field winning streak, they've won more games by 40 than have been decided by single digits, LC.
Holy man. Cincinnati is ranked 6th in the nation, but they got a team that should be much higher than that. Hey, listen, they got a quarterback, Desmond Ryder. He's the winningest quarterback in the nation. 39-5 is the record. They got a running back named Jerome Ford.
Yep.
One of the best running backs in the nation.
Physical.
And the defense is ranked 2 in the nation in scoring defense. Plus, they got a roster full of hungry and talented athletes. What else? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. That's why I think it's different. You know, Lee, they love that. Just keep throwing those compliments out there. They love it. If you're not familiar with Cincinnati, here's what's different. When you think a group of 5, you think of a UCF. You know, a team that ran the ball almost 80 times a game. They wore you out on that side of the football, and it was tough to stop that offense. What's unique about UC to me is what Lee just talked about. They're a complete team. They have Desmond Ritter on offense, who has over 40 starts. You have a great back, offensive line's experience, and they've been in some big wars against Georgia last year in the Sugar Bowl, so that's good. Other side of the ball, they're as fast and as multiple as any defense in college football, and those guys also have some great individual pieces. So when you look at Cincinnati, not just today against Tulsa, they're going to crush Tulsa, but when you look at them big picture, they are. When you look at them big picture, don't evaluate them and almost mentally, put them in a different category. They're the little guy here that we invited. Right. That's not who this group of 5 team is. No. It's a very, very different kind of team that people need to associate.
Yeah, you know that if you speak to Luke Fickell and his staff, too. That's what they're all about. I tell you what, I was impressed with Desmond Ridder coming into the season because during the offseason, he worked extensively on his deep ball. I talked to Jordan Palmer, his quarterback's coach. He said, Desmond, he came in here with a new mindset, a new mentality, and he worked extensively on little things, his mechanics. And everything that he worked on this summer, David, is showing up on the field now.
No doubt, and this whole offense is built around him.
Yeah.
I mean, it is built around Desmond Ridder's athletic ability and what he can do, making people miss. And when you see this tape, I want you to see what his running ability does to everything else. By the way, this is Notre Dame. So Kirk was talking about their schedule. Notre Dame's a pretty good team, a top 10 team. Look at that. Everybody focused on the running back or the running game. What do you want to do? They block really well on the perimeter. Desmond Ridder's athleticism gets it started. This is Georgia, by the way. They're pretty good, right? Yeah. Pretty good team.
Yeah.
Okay. Now look at the focus that's on Desmond Ridder and his athletic ability. What does that open it up for? Jerome Ford, a safety that's unblocked, an SEC safety. He makes a miss, takes it to the house 70-plus yards. And here's one thing. This is a guy that you might not know now, but you will in the future. Alec Pierce is an elite wide receiver. Watch this cushion up top. Des, watch this wide receiver up top. Watch him destroy the corner and burn up and burn right by him. Watch this. Yes, sir.
Good release.
6'3", 215 pounds. Look at him run by it. Yeah. And then he's 6'3". He's got a 40-inch vertical. Stacked. Watch this.
That Notre Dame?
Wow. Yes, that's Notre Dame, Coach.
That's what a high point the ball.
That's
exactly.
Notre Dame.
Good job high pointing the ball.
Alec Pierce, you don't know yet. You will one day, and you'll probably hear about him a lot on Sundays. This offense is built around Desmond Ridder, but transfers like Ford from Alabama has really put this together. They're a complete offense that can do a lot of different things. Yeah.
Well, you see, they're going to have to be impressive. The schedule's not a lot going forward with the exception of SMU, and they're the biggest Notre Dame fans in the world, as we've talked about throughout the morning. Notre Dame plays Navy. Give me a quick pick on that one. Any trouble for the Irish? Cover easily up. Favored by 20.5.
I like the Irish in this game because they know what their identity is. They want to run the ball. Kyron Williams, 5 yards per carry. I got Notre Dame.
Navy's defense got more holes than Swiss cheese. Notre Dame.
Navy and Notre Dame have played 93 straight times. That's the longest intersectional rivalry in America.
Pick a Notre
Dame.
You got to do that over that. Notre Dame's found something in these last 3 weeks. They're running the football. They'll be able to keep that Navy offense on the sideline. Kyron Williams today, huge day, as David said.
I tell you, also think about all the comparisons. Michigan and Indiana play today. Cincinnati will be keeping an eye on that for sure. Army and Air Force. Let's do a quick pick there. That game's going to start at 11:30 Eastern time. Air Force can finish off Commander-in-Chiefs with a win.
You already know. Come on.
Yeah, well, you know, my brother served in the Air Force for 25 years, so I'm kind of obligated to pick Air Force, so he may put me in the headlock. Air Force.
And I got Uncle Gus, so put me in the headlock. I'll take Army. So I'll take the opposite. Who you got, Navy?
This is two rushing leaders in the nation, Air Force and Army. So Air Force wins it with the pass.
Yeah. I just want to say I love both sides. I
Senator Armstrong looking at that camera.
Oh, man. But I'm going to go with Jeff Monken in this case. I like Army.
Wait a minute. Go Navy, beat Army.
There it is. There it is.
We're going to find out whether Commander-in-Chiefs will be at stake for the Black Knights of the Hudson on that day, but they have to beat Air Force to make sure that happens. In the SEC, Hugh Freeze coming back with Liberty to Ole Miss. Freeze took over as the head coach of the Rebels in 2011 and brought a fast-paced tempo offense to the SEC and had a lot of success. First 10-win seasons in a dozen years for the Rebels. In 2015, he was 39-25 overall, 45 weeks. He was ranked in the AP poll and, of course, was let go after reaching escort services on a university-issued phone, but back in Oxford with Liberty and spoke with Andrea Carter.
Coach Freeze, how would you describe the reception and the emotions you've felt being back in Oxford?
Truthfully, to this point, it's been incredible. I mean, there was a long line at the bus, and I have dear friends, and this is home. It always has been, and it probably always will be. And I'd like to think we changed the culture here and proved you can win here. And I think most people remember that. But to this point, it's been incredible.
And a lot of eyes are on your quarterback, Malik Willis. How does he need to play to lead your team if you want to get a win?
Yeah, he probably is our only chance to compete against a top 15 team. Number one, we got to protect him. And if we do, he'll make plays because he's that talented. Can we protect him? We'll find out shortly. But he's such a phenomenal player and kid that he'll be exciting to watch today.
Coach, thank you.
No, thank you so much.
No need
No
for any
sugarcoating it.
subterfuge or platitudes when you're bringing Liberty in.
I'll tell you what, we got a chance. No, we got it. Malik Willis.
He's our only chance.
Only shot. Only shot.
Some honesty.
Counting us down to
Love the
kickoff,
honesty.
37 minutes away until we start on the SEC Network as Hugh Freeze is back in Oxford. It's time for our Peloton High Five players, and at high noon, we're going to see some high-level quarterback play out of these guys. You'll see Matt Corral, Malik Willis against each other later on. Afternoon, we'll see Desmond Ridder and see the other guys that we see coming up here. These quarterbacks right here making big impacts.
Malik leads the nation rushing into the quarterback, and his record is 16-3. Matt is the only quarterback in the nation to throw for 15 touchdowns, run for 10. He's number 2 in the SEC. This game will be a shootout. The last team with the ball wins.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close one, too.
Yeah.
I think Malik Willis, opportunity for him to kind of showcase his talents. A lot of people who follow the game closely like us know what he's capable of doing, but now he's playing an SEC team, and it's Hugh Freeze. You just feel like a couple tricks up his sleeve going back to go up against Matt Corral and Ole Miss.
Corral's been banged up. I mean, he's left a couple games. He runs the football a lot, but tell you what, point guard distributes the ball. He'll run it. He'll do whatever it takes to make it happen.
He went high and tight on his hair.
He looks good.
I like my guy Kenny
Pitt looked good.
Pitt had to bounce back from the game they lost last week against Miami. Miami came up there hungry with a young defense, 2 freshman safeties. Let's see if he's able to bounce back today against Duke.
As you have a look at Sam Howell and make a point about Duke, Duke gave up 100 consecutive points to their opponents.
That's crazy.
That is.
100-0 run.
Shootout today with Sam Howell.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's going to be a shootout.
That's going to be huge. When Sam Howell has been a disappointing season, see if they can give Wake their first loss of the season. So, can LSU do anything with Bryce Young and the Alabama offense? This young, smooth operator sometimes makes it look easier than it is. And Nick Lachey and LC. Lachey makes picks. LC with the headgear and
the Ducks.
Looking sick. College game day. Betting against us. Kirk, Desmond. I'm sick of it, man. Leslie Chap hangover. You picked us to win. Let's go. You're my childhood hero, baby. I love it.
Oh, how quickly they forget we love on Fresno State and Jake Hayner.
What happened when you pick Fresno and they lose? I don't get a shout out.
Yeah, exactly right.
I should start calling him out.
Right. Look at this. This is Chef Nick Ellison from Jeff Ruby Culinary Entertainment at Jeff Ruby Steakhouse. Now you're going to get busy right here.
Hey, wait, stop.
Right here, man.
Wait. Y'all missing the cake. There you go. Now we're talking.
Man.
Oh, my
Now
Lord.
we're talking.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Give me a spoon.
You want shrimp?
You want
Give me some shrimp. I want some of that shrimp.
Let me have a shrimp and sugar.
Oh, this thing is like fondue or something, huh?
When I break a long run, I'm talking long. That's why I use Old Spice Triple Protection Sweat Defense. Old Spice works harder for longer.
Hey, Derek, man. You won't be much longer.
This is gonna be a minute.
Derek, quit playing. Derek.
Every time I eat stuffed crust from Pizza Hut, I play this song. But watch what happens when I play it backwards.
Eat stuffed crust backwards, just $12.99.
The original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Behold, the hypnotic waltz of jowl, tooth, and slobber. Such a dance deserves a worthy partner. Super Chewer. Serious toys for ridiculous dogs.
New projects means new project managers. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/hire and get started today.
Everyone loves the benefits of compression socks, but they're just so hard to get on. Until now. Introducing the all-new Copperfit Energy Socks, redesigned for the first ever easy on, easy off fit to help reduce swelling, relieve tired, achy muscles, and provide energizing support. A new blend of stretch fabric for the most comfortable, easy on, easy off compression fit.
Being a SWAT commander, we train to win. The Copperfit Energy Socks, they didn't feel like other compression socks. They totally exceeded my expectations.
Our most powerful copper-infused fabric, woven into our easy on, easy off compression sock to help reduce swelling discomfort from prolonged sitting or standing.
I'm 38 and a half weeks pregnant. CopperFit Energy Socks worked beautifully.
Extra support around the arch and ankles for increased support and relief of muscle aches and pains.
I'm so excited about these socks. I'm so much more energized to go do things after a day of work. They just slip right on, yet they still have that same compression that you want.
A soft cushion footbed for all-day comfort.
I'm on my feet at least 9 to 10 hours a day. These were fantastic. A lot of compression socks are a little too thin, especially for what I do. With CopperFit, I could wear these every day.
Feel more energized, feel more active, just feel better.
They just hug your leg. It relieves all the pressure that you have. I have so much energy, I can go, hey, you want to dance?
The first ever easy on, easy off compression sock. The most comfortable compression sock you will ever wear. Get your CopperFit Energy Socks now online at GetEnergySocks.com for only $19.99 or call 1-800-614-1032. Order right now and we'll include a second pair of compression socks free.
I've never felt anything like it before.
No more pain, no more swelling, no more achy, tired feet. I can never go back to regular compression socks again.
Don't settle for ordinary. Ask for the original by name, CopperFit Energy Socks.
First Saturday in November was a great rivalry.
The homies like we run the city. Looking fresh and feeling like a millie. Moving silence, you can never hear me. If you got a problem when you see me.
We're all finding out who Alabama is. It is the SEC under the lights.
Run it.
LSU, Alabama, tonight at 7 on ESPN. Welcome home.
Colby's in big trouble here.
Who is next? Michael Chandler. Let's go!
Back here in Cincinnati, as we take a look at today's AT&T countdown to the CFP National Championship. Sam Hartman of Wake Forest, QBR, second best in the country at nearly 89. He has put up some massive numbers.
He's got his playoff beard going, too.
Might as well this time of year. Look at the number of consecutive 300-yard passing games. You know, in the last 15 years, only two quarterbacks in the ACC have had 5 straight 300-yard passing games. Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan. There's a good chance Hartman joins that list today.
Look at those quarterbacks that have gone through Clemson.
Quarterback Sam Hartman continues his recent tear. He's accounted for 5 touchdowns against Duke last week, leading the Deacons to their best start ever in school history.
He's going to need a lot of yards today. He's going to need a lot of yards today because Sammy Howell boys are coming to play. North Carolina is just one of the most unpredictable teams in the country.
Yep.
But do not sleep on them because they have the firepower to be able to score with Wake today.
That game's kicking off less than a half an hour. When current Bengals Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase were Bayou Bengals and LSU went to Tuscaloosa the last time, life was much, much different on that day in 2019 than it will be today. It's hard to fathom. That was a mere 2 years ago. On its way to a national championship, LSU beat Alabama in a streak-stopping, cathartic victory that at the time felt like a changing of the guard or a joining of the guard in the SEC West, at least according to Coach O.
Everybody! Hey, we've been waiting for this moment, man. Let's go. Right here in the middle of the damn field. Let's bring it down. Tigers on 3.
Hell yeah!
This is our house from now on.
Yes, sir.
Tigers on 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to beat their ass in recruiting. We're going to beat their ass every time they see us. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Roll back. What? You.
Alabama hasn't forgotten that. For his part, said he was sorry that got out. I would guess so. They've lost by 38 to Alabama in the meeting after that, and the Crimson Tide still feeling a little payback right now. And instead of taking over Newhouse's, ended up getting kicked out of the one that he has. And so now Bryce Young won't do anything to add fuel to the fire.
And it's intercepted at the 35-yard line by Devon Clark.
We have a lot of respect for them defensively and what they can do as a team. And for us, it's about how we focus, how we lock in, how we prepared.
Brian Robinson dragging would-be tacklers.
They dominate with the run. So our biggest thing is just got mistaken this week. Going in there knowing, you stop the run, make them pass the ball.
Bryce Young wanting to go deep, and he's got him!
The thing that impressed me about Bryce Young is for how young he is and how he stepped up into that role of being the starting quarterback for a powerhouse SEC school. Just these leaps and bounds about his overall skill. You don't see a lot of young guys playing at the level he's playing at.
We have a game plan in that we know we have to execute to the highest level in order to, come out victorious on Saturday.
Alabama, despite having to replace all of that talent from a year ago, might not quite be what it was. Still putting up huge numbers against an LSU defense that's been decimated by injury.
Yeah, you look at Alabama's offense, especially Bryce Young, really impressed with what I've seen from the Miami game to where he is today. So, America, let's take a look at today's more driven player, Bryce Young, presented by Goodyear.
Nice job, Desmond.
Thank you, Coach. My man. All right, listen, RPO, baby. That means he's going to read this guy, number 24. He's a linebacker. Run pass option. So he puts the ball at the mesh point. You see he's looking at the linebacker, but the linebacker's coming for the run. So what's he going to do? He's going to throw the ball in the slant, the area where the linebacker just vacated. But let's rewind that. I want you guys to see how fast he processes everything. From the snap to the throw. Boom, 2 point. Just a hair over 2 seconds. This is next level RPO. Similar situation. Puts the ball at the mesh point, reading the linebacker. The linebacker's coming. He's going to pull the ball. But now he has another read. Look at the defender on the hash mark. Either he rides the seam route up the field or he comes down. He stayed with the seam route, so now he throws the bubble. Let's rewind this one again because I want you to understand how fast he processes everything. Snap, read, throw. Ball's out of his hands in 2.2 seconds. That's just unfair, guys. In the running game, let's talk about my man Brian Robinson. He's more patient now. Watch the guy coming from his right. He's going to have a little hop step to his right, and then another guy, defender's in the hole. He's going to hop step again to his left, and then we all know that Robinson can run through tackles. He's been doing that since he put on the Alabama uniform. He averages 5 yards per carry. When you couple that, the running game with the RPO system and how fast Young is processing information and getting the ball out of his hands, that makes the defense at a great, great disadvantage, Coach.
Since the A&M loss, Alabama's defense has given up a total of 33 points. Since the Alabama A&M loss, Alabama's offense is averaging 50 points a game.
Wow.
Now, you're doing a game tonight, right?
Yeah.
Can I tell the truth?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Alabama big over LSU.
Yeah.
Tonight.
You guys tried to pull that last week, and I told you Penn State would hang around. We'll see.
Yeah, I felt the same way, too.
We'll see what happens tonight. I tell you, the Bryce Young, I'm glad Des just showcased him. It's not just his numbers. He's one of these guys, he's an old soul. And I was talking with Bill O'Brien, the offensive coordinator, former head coach, obviously the Houston Texans. He's been around guys like Tom Brady, been around incredible players. He said this guy's as impressive as anybody he's ever coached as far as being cerebral. His approach to the game. To me, all those numbers you guys are talking about has everything to do with his decision-making, ability to process, and how he preps. He's an amazing kid.
Coach, I give him 2 chances tonight.
Slim and none.
And Slim left.
Slim just left the building.
Hey, LSU's fired up. We'll see.
Yeah, that's good.
Fired up.
Sort of like the last stand for the Ogeron era. They got more games.
I think they're playing for each other more than they
I
are.
would agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, hope so.
When did that start?
LSU and Alabama tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN.
Florida.
College football prime time. Kirk will be there along with Chris Fowler and Holly Rowe from Tuscaloosa. SEC West standings go like this. Now, Alabama's on top, but look who's just behind at Auburn. Auburn and Texas A&M play today in Kyle Field. They always say Kyle Field, tough place to play. Well, not if you're Auburn. They're 4-0 at A&M since the Aggies joined the SEC. Jimbo Fisher strongly suggested this week that this game, Auburn and A&M, could decide the SEC West. All the Aggies need to do is win and get a little help from the Tigers. Well, the Tigers, you just saw, they don't need any help. They control their fate to get to the SEC championship game. Now, Bo Nix has been shut down by the Aggies, never thrown for more than 150 yards in the 2 meetings. But this Bo Nix, this is a different dude than they've seen before.
Hard-nosed team under Harsin. They have a hard-nosed quarterback who's in the end zone.
Bo works hard. Bo focuses on the things that we have to get done.
He's seeing the field. He's making throws. He's hard to get on the ground.
Always staying on his toes and
trying to make different opportunities for, his other playmakers on the team.
Going into the game, being prepared, and just being focused on what I can do to help my team succeed.
Nolan gets swallowed up by Maroon. This defensive performance evoking memories of the Wrecking Crew.
Their defensive line is very good. They're big guys and they're fast.
Their safeties and corners are hardly ever out of position.
We have to play sound, we have to play physical. And I think that's the one thing we can do.
We got to play clean football, no penalties, no turnovers.
You're playing against a really good team that shows a lot of consistency on that side of the ball. And, we got to make sure we do the same thing on our side.
Jim say clean football. In those 4 trips to Kyle Field, Auburn has committed a grand total of 1 turnover in those 4 wins, and they're +5. They play well down there.
Wow. They have. And listen, Auburn's found themselves. I mean, early in the season, they went to Penn State. They really struggled. When we watched Auburn over the past years, we've always thought they were very talented, but the offense didn't really thrive, right? We kind of knew what they would do. They were very predictable. Yeah. That's different now. This offense has an identity. They know how to attack defenses. It's easier for Bo Nix. They got balance with the run game. I like Auburn. I like the new Bo Nix. I think the new Bo Nix and the running quarterback versus A&M's defense gives them a really good chance to move the football.
I give Brian Harsin a lot of credit for sitting him down. When he benched Bo Nix, that wasn't a popular decision. Not easier to do for a first-year head coach, too, first year at Auburn, but he did it. And I think that's what really got Bo Nix focused on what the task at hand is. He was out there playing a little loose. Brian Harsin reeled him in, and now he understands the expectations. The Auburn Tigers are playing a more efficient style of football right now. They have great balance. I'm going to go with Auburn on the road. We know that Bo has struggled on the road at times, but I think we got a new Bo Nix.
Well, he looked good when he went to Arkansas last time he was on the road. And I think everything you guys are saying, Bo Nix, I think, is just more comfortable finally in a scheme. 3 systems in 3 years, and this one fits with him. The job that Brian Harsin has done is incredible to be able to get him to settle down. He's been decisive. He gets back, hitch, ball is out. He's thinking quicker. It's because he has answers to matter what kind of coverage you throw at him. And the other thing is they've gotten more physical and better with more experience up front. They're running the ball with Tank Bigsby. The receivers, which was a question mark when the season started, when they went to Happy Valley, they're now more experienced. So it's a confident football team. This is going to be the big test. This is where we really find out where Auburn is and how far they have come. I'm with you guys, man. I think this is an either or. I'm going to go Auburn close.
I'm going to give you some key points about Auburn.
Yeah.
Number 1, Auburn has never lost in College Station. 4-0.
You jinxing.
Yo.
You jinxing.
Auburn has won 3 games this year when they've been behind in the second half.
Yep.
Yo. Field goal kicker Carlson.
Big guy, big lad.
He kicked 1 field goal for 13 straight games. And that number 1 in the nation. Yo. 3 Yo's equal upset. 3 O's equal upset.
So everybody?
Auburn.
That worries me.
Good job, A&M.
Yep, A&M got the win.
SEC still.
A&M got the win.
Orange and blue, all the way around. Bear earlier said A&M.
Hey, Bear loves
Who do you
A&M.
like?
Who do you like?
I do like A&M. I do like A&M.
Oh, good. There we go. We're good now.
I'm just saying,
no idea
We're good now.
say you love Skyline Chili. See what they say.
You like Skyline Chili?
You like Skyline?
Barry says
Oh, what a great scene.
Just say you do, and then they'll cheer.
But they cheered when I said I didn't.
To answer your question, I'd take Auburn. Very true.
Yeah.
And the points, but not straight up.
Yeah. A notable inactive today for Georgia against Missouri. Jamari Sawyer was hurt, and he hurt his foot in practice, expected to miss time. We told you the story of Adam Anderson. So it's going to change some roles on defense. Broderick Jones will wind up on the offensive line getting his first career.
And he's super talented, obviously. One of the higher recruits a couple years ago, but great athlete, great upside, but you're talking about replacing a guy with a lot of experience. Quay Walker, listen, you lose Adam Anderson, you got Quay Walker, you got other guys up there that have experience that have played a lot of football, but they'll have to play more football and probably play a more impactful role.
17 still out there, right?
Yeah, and 41.
Yeah.
41 still good?
Yeah.
88?
Yeah.
99?
88.
Pizza Hut counting us
There
down.
you go.
Kickoff. See, they're 17.
I mean, this guy, if this guy's not the defensive player of the year, I know the big guy gets a lot of attention, but that's the quarterback of their defense, the leader of the whole thing.
Yeah, but Jordan Davis, come on now, size matters.
That's all they talk about is him because of his size.
Well, there's an NIL thing that he's doing with that big building in town. Pizza Hut counting us down to kickoff. In Columbus, there's C.J. Stroud and the Buckeyes against the Huskies.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson not playing today. Chris Olave will have opportunities to make plays. Watch 4, Julian Fleming He'll get you. That's the
That's
other
a different form. Yeah, that's a double number.
Julian Fleming and also Marvin Harrison Jr. will get opportunities, number 18.
And by the way, Garrett Wilson tweeting he's fine and appreciates everybody reaching out.
Good.
All right, Minnesota and Illinois. Pizza Hut counting us down to kickoff inside 17 and a half minutes. PJ Fleck, this is what he had to say to the Big Ten West leaders.
You gotta start fast, accelerate middle, and finish strong. Talked all year about one-game championship seasons. That's all that matters. Championship game tomorrow at 11 a.m. right here, Huntington Bank Stadium. Championship game, period. The only thing that matters. Eliminating the external distractions, highlighting and make really loud that internal voice. Everybody got it? I love you, I'm proud of you. Let's make sure we bring it when we come here tomorrow.
They're on their fourth running back. They only have 2 scholarship running backs, and they still have guys going over 100 yards.
And they run over 70% of the time.
They had to switch a linebacker to running back. One of my favorite
captain
teams
scored a
right here,
touchdown.
Minnesota.
Hey, how about this? Here's our celebrity guest picker, Nick Lachey. His son Camden is with him. Out here, get a little insight on the picks. Been able to bring him home. Nick Lachey joins us.
Watch that cord, Camden. Watch that cord. Don't trip, buddy.
Good?
Football is the game of life, and it brings a community together. White, black, boys, girls.
Flag, tackle. Football can revive communities. Anybody can play.
That family value, that brotherhood is everything.
It's really what all it's about, is just having a good time and being able to play.
There's never been a better time to play.
Introducing Wendy's new hot and crispy fries. Preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. Try them today, only at Wendy's.
Fine, no one leaves the table till you're finished.
Fine, we'll sleep here.
It's the easiest because it's the cheesiest. Kraft, for the win-win.
To make progress, we must keep taking steps forward. We believe the future of energy is lower carbon, and to get there, the world needs to reduce global emissions. At Chevron, we're taking action, tying our executives' pay to lowering the carbon emissions intensity of our operations. It's tempting to see how far we've come, but it's only human to know how far we have to go.
Welcome to Allstate, where our new lower auto rates are worth celebrating. Now get new lower auto rates. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click or call for a lower auto rate today.
All it takes for the McRib, with its tangy and juicy flavor, to be crowned the most important sandwich of the year is to simply return. The most important sandwich of the year is back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Just think, he'll be driving for real soon. Every new Chevy Equinox comes standard with Chevy Safety Assist, including automatic emergency braking. Find new peace of mind. Find new roads. Chevrolet.
It's beautiful out here. Sure is. And I earn 5% cash back on travel purchase through Chase with Chase Freedom Unlimited. That means that I earn 5% on our rental car, I earn 5% on our cabin. I mean, come on. Hello, cash back!
Hello, Kevin Hart.
I'm scared. In a good way. I'm lying. Let's get inside. Earn big time with Chase Freedom Unlimited with no annual fee. How do you cash back? Chase, make more of what's yours.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. And in part by Pizza Hut. Order today at pizzahut.com. And Coors Light, made to chill.
Man, what a homecoming scene here on campus in Cincinnati. It was huge at like 5 o'clock this morning. Just kept growing. Here's our game day check down. Cal might have multiple players that can help Arizona get a win. They don't have one of those yet. Not sure if Sparty's going to have Jalen Naylor. Got the hand injury, one of the targets for Peyton Thorne. Jason Brown going to start against Florida for the Gamecocks. Gamecocks have had all kinds of quarterback problems. We told you earlier about Clay Helton. Here are the Superdog standings who picked the upsets. Oh, look here.
Wow.
Here comes Thorne.
I was in the basement like 3 weeks ago. What's going on? What's happening?
You've executed your plan to perfection,
All
my
right,
friend. Look
now,
at you.
now Desmond's lead would have been bigger if not for
Oh,
this.
yeah, this is why
Wow.
Florida State should not play football the rest of this season.
Yeah.
This was embarrassing. Are you kidding me?
Desmond was going to get the 2 points. All you got to do.
Scoop and score. Scoop and score. Scoop and score. Yes. What type of foolishness is that?
All right, you didn't get anything for that. Who you got today?
Oh, man, today I'm going with the Auburn Tigers, baby. That's right. Yeah. Come on, Bo Nix. You got to do something on the road against these Aggies, man. I'm rolling with you, baby. I love the way they've been playing so far. I think by the reaction, some other guys up here got Auburn, too.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. You just changed it, Davey?
I was excited.
Wow.
Well, I found out he had Liberty, so I
know,
changed
right?
it. Now I know you have that. Son of a gun. Well, I'm not the Hex. Kirk is the Hex. So me and you are both going to win.
I'm actually in second place. So, I'm not the Hex. How about Liberty and Ole Miss? Now, look, you're getting 9 points here. I have everything. This has everything to do with Malik Willis and Hugh Freeze going back to Oxford.
Yeah.
Couple curveballs.
Can't stop the run,
I think he's going to have his team ready to play.
How about the Bulldogs get 5.5 against Arkansas? The Bulldogs have won 7 of the last 8 games against Arkansas. The Bulldogs are hot, beating ranked Kentucky last week. Coach Mike Leach, the magician, gets another upset win. Bulldogs upset Razorback.
1 minute, you got a 3-touchdown lead on Oklahoma. Next thing you know, a 3-game losing streak serves as an AP poll assassin. Pet monkeys connected to the staff, trying to strip trick-or-treaters down to the bone. Horns down, but just keep on living, baby. Keep Austin weird. Texas, the Superdog. In Ames.
Oh, man.
Good one.
There are the celebrities standing. Look, Ken Jeong came in. Kane Brown is still leading the way.
Okay.
This is what Nick Lachey has to shoot for now to try to
take on Kane.
Got to take on Kane right there. But Nick has a long history with College Game Day, the Cincinnati native, 98.
Oh, they got a lot of
star,
feedback on that.
Alter ego judge.
Exactly.
Remember this?
This is old school.
Yeah, man.
Really old.
He looks the exact same. You remember that, but do you remember this?
So from here, high atop the horseshoe, I have someone who truly knows the meaning and how to sing the victors. Heisman Trophy winner, Desmond Howard. You ready, brother?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
1 and 2 and 3.
Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Michigan, the champions of the West.
Bro. All I remember from that day is seeing Kirk on the monitor laughing his ass off. I was like, you're dead. He thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever seen in his life.
I was like, you're dead, man. You're dead.
They put Des and I in the
That
back
was
of an
great.
Ohio State trooper car,
Yeah.
and the trooper was in the car, and they were shaking the car so violently. I thought that was the end. I thought it was over for us.
Exactly.
Where was your hair?
Different day.
That was a young
Different
Des
day and
Brown.
time. Yeah.
It's time for a
You had less, I had a lot more.
That's right.
Coors Light Saturday selections. By the way, happy early birthday. It's Tuesday.
Thank you.
I don't know if
Thank you.
anybody's
Happy
traveled
birthday.
farther to get here than Nick did to get here. Let's make some picks right here. Pet monkey problems down there in Texas,
yeah.
Texas and Iowa State. Who do you like?
Well, I tell you what, I'm going with Iowa State. I think they have a better defense. Texas defense has been really, really bad in the second half of games, so I'm going to roll with the Cyclones.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually went to college with Sark. We were freshmen together at USC. He was one of my suite mates. So I'd love to make this pick for him, but I just can't do it. I think going into Ames is always tough.
Yep.
And to your point, Texas has found a way to collapse in so many second halves. I'm going with Iowa State.
Texas pulls the upset because of the new halftime strategy, not going into halftime. Texas upset.
Two of the best backs you're going to see in this conference going head-to-head, Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson. I just can't trust Texas yet until we see it. Second half, Iowa State at home. I think their defense had a terrible game last week. I expect them to bounce back this week at home.
Got one Texas.
All right.
On Iowa State.
You got two Texas, Coach.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Yeah,
exactly. It's a Superdog.
All right, Baylor and TCU, first game after the Gary Patterson era. Baylor, big game with Oklahoma next week. Could they get caught napping here?
Tricky game for Baylor. We talked about it earlier. It's on Bear's big board. I think without Gary Patterson, TCU would be inspired. But I think that Dave Aranda's going to have his group ready for this game. They know what's ahead, so I'm going with the Baylor Bears.
I agree. Yeah, I think TCU's having a down year. They just don't have it quite together this year, and Baylor looks strong, especially of late. So I'm going Baylor as well.
Nice pick, Nick. Be alert for the wounded TCU team. Close.
Jerry Kill takes over. He's been a head coach when he was at Minnesota. I think they'll be inspired early, but Baylor's for real. And it's about physicality with Baylor. The defense and Abram Smith running the football against that TCU defense, it's given up a ton of yards.
Oklahoma State going against an improving West Virginia team. Pokes have beaten them 6 straight, won the last 3 trips to Morgantown. Who wins it?
The key for the Cowboys is don't turn the ball over on the road. If they don't turn the ball over, which I hope they don't, they're going to win. So I'm going Cowboys, but in a close game against the Mountaineers.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Morgantown is such a difficult, tricky place to play. But I think Oak State has enough firepower, and I think they get it done today. Oak State.
Oklahoma State, like you said, Reese, won 3 straight in Morgantown. 4 straight.
And don't forget, Oklahoma State, one of those teams, still has everything in front of them, despite the 1 loss. The defense of Jim Knowles is the real deal, and they'll get just enough on the road. Be tough, but just enough from that offense with Spencer Sanders.
You know, sometimes you're watching a movie and you realize something's about to happen. You feel like it's a setup. It's like Michigan State going to Purdue.
Yeah.
Sparty always falls in this situation. Purdue always pulls the upset. Does it happen here?
This is the setup for Sparty, especially after the big win a week ago against Michigan. But I think that Mel Tucker's going to have his guys ready. He's only a 3-point favorite against Purdue, but I think that Michigan State will beat Purdue by more than 3 points.
Look, this is more of a hopeful pick for me. As we all know, we need a little chaos to happen up top for my Bearcats to slide in there.
There you go.
I think after an emotional win against the Wolverines, I think this is perfect opportunity for a letdown game.
Yeah.
And I'm counting on that to happen. This is my upset of the day, I'm going Purdue.
That's a nice play. That's a great pick. I hate to do this. Upset at home on grass. Purdue.
Yeah.
Purdue.
High grass, high wet grass.
These guys are falling victim to this narrative that is so obvious that Mel Tucker, who's from Nick Saban, nobody knows how to get a team up after a big win the next week than Nick Saban. He's been preaching to him. I bet this week at practice, awful at East Lansing. They show up in a bad mood. They're not down. They play well, and Michigan State wins.
At 3:30 on ABC. But to be fair, Kirk, nobody's won more games in this spot historically than Purdue.
I agree.
Good point.
So you got Purdue, too. You got Purdue.
Catchers, too. They may be without Baylor.
Michigan State. It's too much talk about it. Too obvious. Too obvious.
How about Clemson and Louisville?
Well, I like Clemson's defense at 3rd in the scoring defense in the nation, so I think that defense travels. So I got Clemson over Louisville in the close game.
Man, this is a tough one for me because obviously Clemson's having a down year.
Yeah.
How much they still have to play for. I think this game means more to Louisville than it does to Clemson. And at Louisville, I'm actually going to take the Cardinals.
Nice pick. Not so fast, my friend.
Good job.
Louisville scores, but not enough.
I think it's Clemson's defense. I think that's the difference in this football game. They're doing enough, I guess, to win games on offense, but I'll have to say the defense gets a couple turnovers, gets a short field, wins the game. I like Clemson.
Boy, not often you see only 58% of the fans picking Clemson. It's on the ACC network tonight at 7:30 Eastern time. Coming up at noon, Wake, North Carolina, points aplenty, one would think. Not an ACC game, by the way.
Yeah, not a conference game.
I
but
still don't understand that.
I know, it's crazy. It's a side deal they made. But anyway, listen, I got Wake in the shootout. Wake, whoever has the ball last going to win. I think it's going to be Wake, so I got Wake.
Yeah, this was another tricky one for me. I think it could obviously go either way, as we all said, a lot of points, very little defense. But I've got Wake as well in this one. I think they find a way. They've got a lot to play for. They're keeping that record unblemished, you know?
Not so fast, my friend. They end the Wake's unbeaten streak. Take you over, North Carolina.
I'm with you. This is, as you said, a sandwich game. Both these teams, high 30s, maybe both in the 40s. I'm going with Wake. I think it's going to be a tough game for them, but I think they'll win. Bear, you have any strong opinions on this one, either way?
North Carolina defense is really bad. So Wake Forest, clean total over. By the way, first team 8-0 or better to be an underdog against a team that didn't have a winning record since 1993.
Yeah, well.
So what happened then? Okay, look, I've been wrong with North Carolina all year long.
They're a hard team to figure out.
defense. Look at last week. Cardinal Williams went nuts against him. They don't like to tackle.
Just wave to the people. Wave to them.
I don't care. I have no idea why they're pissed at me. All I did was go on and say they're going to make the playoffs.
This is the second week in a row. I know. Michigan State fans didn't like them. Cincinnati fans giving them
Michigan State,
the work, the business.
Welcome to being on air.
Cincinnati fans giving them the business.
Welcome to being on air.
There you go.
There
you go.
Once upon a time, just a researcher, now a big-time star. And that comes to the territory, man. Hugh Freeze, back in Oxford. I don't know why. Speaking of why you play in that game, I would have bought my way out of this thing. But Liberty and Ole Miss.
I got Ole Miss. Ole Miss, they're really good at running the ball. Liberty's going to struggle to start trying to stop the run. Matt Corral's going to be okay. He's been banged up, but they have enough to beat Liberty. So I'm going Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a nice story, him coming back to Oxford. I think the team's going to rally behind that and play well for him. But at the end of the day, I just don't think they have enough talent. I think Ole Miss gets it done.
That's a nice pick. And Ole Miss in a shootout. Ole Miss in a shootout.
Two reasons here. Malik Willis is the real deal. Number two, Hugh Freeze is going back home. And I think if there's any game he cares about winning, it's this one. So I'm going with Liberty to win outright.
Hey, I almost picked this one as my super dog, too.
Yeah.
I almost did, yeah. So they got to lose now.
If they win, you're going to get a text.
Hey, man, as much as you think Hugh Freeze wants to win, you think Lane Kiffin wants to lose that one?
Absolutely, sweetheart.
No, sir. Tennessee and Kentucky.
I'm with you. I'm going Rocky Top. I think Tennessee's going to win. I was impressed with the way they played Alabama for at least 3.5 quarters. I'm going Tennessee.
Yeah, I agree. I think Tennessee, not imposing sanctions on themselves, they still have something to play for. I think they're going to be inspired. I think Kentucky's in a little bit of upheaval. I'm going Tennessee as well.
Tennessee gets the upset with the passing game. Tennessee.
Well, I think the way Kentucky wins this game is they've got to keep Hendon Hooker on the sideline. How do you do that? Run the ball with Chris Rodriguez. Control the clock, keep Hendon Hooker on the sideline. Remember, this is a Kentucky team that we went to Athens. They were ranked in the top 10. Things have been good. They've lost 2 in a row. I think Mark Stoops, who likes to coach with a chip on his shoulder, his team shows up with a chip on their shoulder. They win. Close game.
The way it's gone, they would either fumble the chip or throw an interception.
That's my guy.
Turnover. I love them. They've got to take care of the ball. Take care of the ball.
Yeah.
Kirk won't make a pick here. LSU and Bama.
I don't know if you guys saw my most driven player, Bryce Young, presented by Goodyear, but that tape will tell you everything you need to know about this game. Alabama big.